Say it. What's your last name?
We don't even need to.
Okay, we're up.
Kimbalas.
Kimbaza?
Kimbalas.
Kimbabas. Kimbabas. No, Kimbabas.
Download the Amazon Music app today. PriceFixerDenver.com. If you need a new furnace or air conditioner, they make it as easy as ordering a pizza. You need to go to PriceFixerDenver.com to answer a few simple questions like how large is your house? Are you on gas or electric? And bam, you're going to have an upfront guaranteed lowest price quote on a new.
We don't edit anything. It's all live. Oh, you were joking.
Trust me, if you listen to the show, you know.
But you know that we don't take ourselves seriously.
Other HVAC company.
We have fun.
Furnace or air
number one thing we have fun.
PriceFixerDenver.com. Their phone number's right there. By the way,
the show is a little fun. The show is a little laid back. We don't have a lot of energy. We have fun.
So we do have fun.
No energy.
Mr. Fritz, you don't take yourself seriously?
We don't believe in having fun.
You're calling for task, I take it.
I can't emphasize this enough. Never, ever a trip charge.
Are you saying Steph's the boss? Are you insinuating that Steph is the boss?
No. She's just saying that she's questioning your... that you don't get serious. Of course you're serious.
Check them out at downtownhealthcare.com.
Frank Duran, the real estate man. Whether buying or selling,
And we're uptown.
We find the pulse of the market to generate multiple offers, and then we spend our time aggressively and strategically negotiating the best sales price for your property.
Even in a great market, you do need the expertise of a great broker.
The real issue is the credibility of the offer. We help you determine where the best credibility is to get you this closing.
Frank Duran, the real estate man, with RE/MAX Alliance. 303-920-1622. FrankDuran,
Who doesn't want to own their home faster? But can it be done without paying more money? Here's how. Quit paying compound interest. Why is it when you
Honey,
borrow
if she wants to watch you
$400,000
live,
for a home loan, you pay
Tom
back
Martino,
$708,000 at 4.25%?
Just referralist.com. We stream live right there. That's the easiest way. Or YouTube or Facebook. On YouTube, it's called Referralist, and if she searches Facebook, it's facebook.com/referralist.
Through the 50s and 60s with cars, motorcycles, and old-fashioned diner.
It's really easy. We're all
AImortgage.com/events to reserve your.
And then, of course, we have the
Simple
podcast.
interest mortgages will save you thousands in excess interest while allowing you the ability to access your
This
equity
would be a
when
miracle if I
needed.
get this
Join us
all
for dinner at the
over.
Memory Lane Museum, April 18th.
What are we talking about, Dan? Anything special coming up? Any outbound that I should know about? Any
No,
follow-ups?
a couple of the outbounds we had got solved.
AImortgage.com/events. Keep more of your money with affordable mortgage. 720-895-0500. NMLS 298-191. Regulated by DORA. Equal credit lender.
Has your shot at $1,000 now. Text your nationwide keyword wings to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's wings
Tom,
to
smile.
200-200.
Hey, look at me, Priscilla. Priscilla,
Is the Troubleshooter Show. Now,
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. We are here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life just a little easier as we do every single day. I am so happy that you're here to help us do this. You know, you help us by spreading the word. You would not believe the results we get. When people say, hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? We make people do the right thing. The reason I say that is we don't force people to do anything, but when they know the right thing to do, most people do the right thing. Sometimes all this show does is, close the gap of communication. I am Tom. If you're just tuning in, we've been doing this for so many years, the longest running show in America with the same host currently on the air. Now, all you have to do to get help is call us at 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. And another number that works is 303-MARTINO. Now, 303-MARTINO goes out 24/7. If we're in the office, it goes there. If we're out, you get voicemail. If we're in the studio, it comes right to the radio show. And here's the greatest news. We will get back to you. Kelly and Haley are two examples of getting back to them. So, and we also have special guests in the studio, very special guests. You are not going to believe the common woman who dropped in today. You remember I said I would give a gift to someone who has come the farthest? And our listeners in other reaches, you're not going to believe this one. Hold on, though. We'll do that in a second. Now, Kelly, you hang on. I'm going to get to you because you called us. And Haley, you also called us. And this is proof that we do get back to people. What's happening, Haley?
Hi.
Is it, by the way, is it Haley or Hallie?
It is Haley, yes.
All right. What's happening?
Well, my mom actually recommended I contact you because I am so frustrated. I stayed at the Travel Lodge in Colorado Springs with my family.
Yes, the Travel Lodge. And what were you doing down there?
We went to the Jurassic Quest that was going on,
okay,
which was awesome.
Yeah, I heard about it. So, Haley, it's called Travel Lodge, and what's the problem?
Well, it was disgusting.
Uh-oh.
There was trash on the floor. There was a used condom.
Wait. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, and that's not the worst of it. There was other kids' clothes and a toy, but then the worst part was we found crystal meth in our room as well.
Hold on a second. These people don't even clean in between?
Well, I guess not, because that was a lot of disgusting things in our room.
No, this is terrible. Are you serious when you said a used condom?
Oh, yes, I am serious. And I have pictures. I took
and crystal meth. Explain that to me. How do you know it's crystal meth?
Well, my husband and I turned it into the police.
Did they do anything about it?
They took down our name and number and said, thanks for turning it in.
How is this Travel Lodge rated?
Well, when we were looking it up, I think it was at 3 out of 5.
Yeah. So how did the other places look? Like the cars and the people? I mean, did it look like a flea bag hotel or what? What did it look like? What were the surroundings?
Well, when we got there, the surroundings, I mean, it was not fancy.
How much was the stay per night?
Well, we were lucky enough that we used points from my husband's job. We couldn't have gone without using the points.
What would it cost? What would it cost to stay there?
I think it was like $69 or $79 a night.
Okay. And you were there with your kids?
Yes.
All right. So you get to the room. You notice it's disgusting. What do you do next? You call the manager and say, get me another room, I hope.
Well, we got there really late. We drove about 4.5 hours to get there. And
where'd you come from?
From Lamar, Colorado.
Lamar, okay. And so you get there. You notice it's disgusting. What did you do?
Oh, we didn't even notice till the next morning, as gross as that is. We got there. Our kids were asleep. We carried them, laid them on the bed, didn't turn the lights on so that they wouldn't wake up. And we just passed out.
My God, if you look at the website, it looks like a palace.
Right? That's what we were so excited. We were going to have the points to go and have an extra long weekend for the spring break with my kids. But it was so nasty. And
all right, so the next morning, you stayed a night. What was the plan to stay how many nights? What was the plan?
We were going to do 2 nights.
All right, so let's get right to it. When you complained, what happened?
The person at the front desk said they were the manager. She shrugged and said sorry, but that's all she could do. So then I emailed the Wyndham corporate office.
Yeah. And Wyndham is not a bad group.
Correct. But so I emailed them and hadn't heard back, so I called and spoke with a very helpful lady. She took down information, apologized, said that I would hear back within a week.
Did you hear anything at all?
No, I gave them 10 days. I was trying to be patient.
I understand, but did you stay the second night?
No, we left the next morning as soon as we found
Were you charged for the second night?
Yeah, they kept all of the points that we used to reserve.
Okay, so what do you want at this point?
I mean, really, when I was talking to people, all I want is my husband's points refunded back to him because he has to work really hard.
That seems like a reasonable request. How many points per night?
He had to use, I think we ended up using about 800 of his points. So 400 a night.
800 points total. Okay. They should be able to arrange this. I don't know. When you do the points, who do you do it through? In other words, you didn't go, so even if they wanted to refund it, how do you get those points put back?
Well, that's a good question. I actually don't know.
Well, who runs the points? Who is it? What is it? What kind of point?
It's through his job, so through Dish Network.
Okay. Did you, so Dish awards these points?
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure out how to get them back. If Travelodge will relinquish them, I don't think we're going to have a hard time getting them to relinquish. I'd like to contact Wyndham directly. Daphne, just tell her, General, that we probably should also call Wyndham Resorts directly. Okay, hold on a sec. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is outrageously disgusting. I understand it. So just hold on, and we'll see what they'll do. Now, you get an idea of what the show does. We get a call, somebody complains, we try to make it better. We also do a lot of other things. We have helped people raise money. We have helped people down and out. We have a little charity fund. We do all kinds of stuff. One of the things I'm doing is going to a special fundraiser next week for a school in Rwanda. Why the heck would I support a school in Rwanda? Because this woman in Colorado wanted to do something. She said she felt a calling to do something with her life, and she was drawn to Rwanda. So she goes to Rwanda and starts a school under a tree with just a few kids. And this school grew into a campus of nearly 40,000 square feet, several miles. And get this, the students score better than any other students in the country. The students' parents get jobs at the school and work for the education. And together, Susan, who started this, she's not here today, but someone else is, Susan changed the entire area. Now, one of the very first teachers, I saw photos of her under that tree, was this woman called Priscilla. Now, when I say I have a common woman, she's anything but common, but Priscilla was one of the first teachers. She's still there. And by the way, she's from Rwanda, grew up in Ghana. They escaped the genocide. The parents moved to Ghana to get away from being put to death, literally murdered. This was a period of genocide going on in that country. Two factions were fighting. They put that all behind them. Really, they did. This country is more unified than America. The people love each other, but that's a whole separate story. But she goes back to Rwanda. She fights tooth and nail to get an education and ends up at Hope Haven as a teacher. And also, she does family relations. She goes out and checks on the kids. This is the most remarkable story. Do you know why? Because when I saw the video of this school and the kids getting ready for school, I thought, I'm going to kick my kids in the butt next time I hear them complaining when they get up in the morning. These kids get up in the morning and have to trek down to a creek to get water so they can even get ready. Then they get dressed and they walk 3, 4, 5 miles to school through brush. And then they get to school with smiles on their face. And they have to walk back. Then they do their homework under candlelight. It's incredible. Listen, I'm not going to give you every detail of their lives. I'm just going to have Priscilla here, not to talk about that necessarily, but just to be a guest because she's in town for this gala next week. You know, when I say charities, I always check them out before I donate. This charity, oh my God, every penny is put to such good use. So we're going to meet Priscilla coming right up, and then we're going to take your problems, and you know what I'd love? I'd love to get this woman's input on our problems, because she said, problems? What problems could you possibly have? I mean, when you grow up in a mud hut, what problems do you have?
Good job. No, Tom, now make sure you say go to the website and register, and it's not Ghana,
Tom,
it's
1 minute,
Uganda.
ideal 60.
looking pretty good across the metro
I
area.
told him it's Uganda.
Oh, what? I said Ghana. I'm sorry.
That's West Africa.
Uganda. Okay, sorry.
What is that website, staff? I'll put that on a banner across it.
It's called Hope Haven Rwanda. Tom, what does the website say there to register for the game?
It's Hope Haven Rwanda.
Okay.
.org.
.org. HopeHavenRwanda.org, okay?
Wide open.
Thanks, Dan the man.
The weather forecast. Partly sunny, a chance.
He did a great job, though.
I
love having him.
20 seconds, ideal long.
It's okay. He's not been there, so he doesn't know. But
You're in conflict.
yeah, you know what? Listen, it's fine, but
This
still
month
listen
at
to
Napa
me.
Auto Parts stores.
I love going to places where you realize how
Okay, guys.
Plus a Napa flat
Guys.
oil filter
Yes.
for $21.98.
Commercial.
Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. You hear me say this all the time. Now, right now, interest rates are pretty good. Still, people hold off. You don't have to hold off. Here's the deal. If you refinance and you think, doggone it, I missed it because the rates go back down again, you're covered. They have a 2-year interest rate guarantee. If they go down even 0.75%, they refinance you free of charge. It's that simple. Now, here's the deal. Every time you close on a new loan, you get another 2-year guarantee. That's just one of the many things they have for you at idealhomeloans.com. 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000. Brent owns and operates this with his people right here in Colorado. They've been here for years, locally owned and operated with the best services. They also, of course, not just do the interest rate guarantee, but all kinds of other things like pick your own term. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Music, the voice is all you need.
Steph, what was that? What was?
It's HopeHavenRwanda.org.
Is this me?
Okay.
Is this me? Is this me?
Unlimited access
Okay.
to over 50 million songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
I'm sorry.
Centeno Schultz is the stem
Well, I hear a
cell
lot of
clinic
music
that I
that comes
recommend
from that.
for true living stem cell therapy. If you are looking for a stem cell clinic, go to Dr. Chris Centeno and his team. He's the first one to do stem cell treatment in a clinical setting in the entire country.
you can take
find
those
out
off
more
during the
at
break
their
so we can
website,
talk a little, just so you know.
avoidsurgerytoday.com. Don't accept
All of these
any
commercials,
chiropractic clinics
that's what helps
or
us help
medical
people. They
clinics
pay
where
to,
amniotic
you know,
fluid
that.
or umbilical cord issues.
And,
It is not
She was a
legal.
radio
I
announcer in
do
Rwanda.
not get
Oh, really?
living stem
Yeah.
cells
So you take
unless
over.
they are
She could take over.
extracted at the time
No.
of the treatment. I can't emphasize that enough.
You solved some problems here.
Money all
If you
over
guys
the
knew
world
what this woman has
on
been
lying,
through,
cheating
that she's
ripoffs. If
so
you're looking for true living
happy,
stem cell
and I mean, it's
therapy,
unbelievable.
listen to
Everyone in
Schultz
this room
and
would have
ask
been
about their
done.
weekly seminars. 303-963-9221.
She's one of 30. Just 30 brothers and sisters.
Avoidsurgerytoday.com.
Really?
303-963-9221.
No.
963-9221.
Hey, seven.
Avoidsurgerytoday.com.
I thought that was a lot.
I'm a family of six.
It's disgusting.
It's about achieving something greater
No.
for yourself
Ignore him.
and
Ignore
others. So ADP is enabling people to work better and
Tom
embrace
has
new challenges. To
4
work
brothers and
anywhere
sisters,
and
so
everywhere,
he's kidding.
and helping everyone reach their full potential. At ADP, we're designing a better way to work,
mentally
so
ill.
you can achieve what you're looking for.
Mhm.
HR, talent,
Let's
time,
just
benefits,
seize
and
that.
payroll.
Well,
Informed by data
you know,
and
she had to
designed
go
for
to
people. Learn more.
Yeah, she
His
was.
dad left when he was a baby boy.
My mom was nuts.
Adults who have crooked teeth and always
So
wanted
he
to
has
give
Sometimes.
there is a
He
way
had
to
to
do
live on
that.
his own in
Cat
America.
Lawson
But
has
what age
pioneered new orthodontics for adults.
When
Straighten
you're
your
old?
teeth, widen your palate,
14.
take care of jaw alignment, help you with teeth
So he had a hard
decay,
life
stop
for America, not compared to
natural
No,
in
not
2
compared to
years.
anything
Less,
they
way
went through.
cheaper than getting a mouthful of veneers.
But that's why he helps people, because he watched his mom get trained in family medicine.
What do you need, sister?
I was checking out Bill.
Take cup off.
You're doing awesome. I got some shots.
I must have looked.
You did. That's why I said turn your face toward me so we can get some.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I usually have a face for radio.
No, you don't. I love that.
We endorse them. I've used Don's garage doors in my home, and folks, you should too. Your garage is the entrance to your home,
and you want somebody you can trust. Next
Does Ted
time you
ever
need a
come in
garage
here?
door repair or
Well, honey?
replacement,
Does Ted ever
call
come in here?
Don's Garage Doors at 303-738.
Yeah.
That's 303-738.
You should have him do movie reviews on Fridays.
Or online at donsgaragedoors.com.
He watches everything.
Ask Alexa to
Ted, the
play
one that
Sexy
loves it.
K-How on
He always tells me
iHeartRadio.
what's good
Then
movie.
you can hear a libertarian.
What are we doing Thursday? Nothing? Okay, done. They want to postpone it because Tim is sick.
On 630
Who's Tim?
K-How.
My boss. Hello, I'm Tom Martino, and did I mention this hour is brought to you by the very, very best person I know and the best service I know. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I can't get into details, but the man is magical. Oh, just leave everything to him. If you are buying or selling real estate, just leave it to him. I'm Tom Martino. Welcome. We have a very special guest today. I'm not going to go into a long diatribe, but you have to check out hopehavenrwanda.org to find out about this wonderful school, started by a Colorado woman, Susan Holler. She's a wonderful lady. Now, Priscilla, welcome to America. Your first time in America from Rwanda. I said you grew up in Ghana. You grew up in
Uganda.
Uganda. I am sorry. Now, what do you do at Hope Haven, Rwanda?
I started at Hope Haven 7 years ago as a nursery teacher.
A nursery teacher?
Yeah, because I was still at college. For the last 2 years of my college, I was working as a nursery teacher and studying.
Now, do you need to boost her more? Is she fine? She's fine. Okay. Now, Priscilla, you said when it comes to teaching young babies in Rwanda, before you can even teach, you have to dig things out of their feet. I mean, we're talking about unlike any kids here could imagine. Explain the conditions.
Yeah, the community I come from, where the school is, Hope Haven, Rwanda, is a very poor community. 99% of people are illiterate.
99% illiteracy.
Yes. And you can imagine when there is illiteracy, there is poor hygiene, there is child abuse, there is child ignorance. I mean, there is a lot bad in that community. So these kids didn't know about school. And when we came in the community, Susan Holland came from Colorado, and then she was like, I think I should start a school here. Even before we started a school, 75 kids just came running.
And the 75 kids were under a tree, and you would take, as I said, hygiene. You taught them how to brush their teeth. You had to take these jiggers.
Chiggers, yes.
Chiggers out of their feet. What are they?
Feet, these are, I should say, these are like, they're not insects. There's some...
whatever, an irritant.
Yeah, they go in your body.
Yeah.
And then they start feeding on your body.
And it's an infection of sorts.
Yes. And then they grow in your body. So when they grow, they release eggs. And when they release eggs, anybody around you also gets them. So the kids had them, the parents had them, the entire community had chiggers.
Now, these children now have shoes and uniforms and meals, and it's a complete program.
The kids have a meal at Hope Haven. They have breakfast at Hope Haven, and that's only what they get. They don't get anything else back at home because, you know what, we even feed the parents.
So this is sometimes the only food they get?
Yes. They only get a meal at 1 at Hope Haven. Then they'll get another meal the next day when they come back at Hope Haven.
And you feed the parents. Now, the parents don't want free handouts. They're very proud and they don't want free. They want to work.
Yes, because in Rwanda, we are not allowed to give anything for free, like free 100%. No, there has to be, you have to intervene. You have to come in and work with me for me to give you, to share with you what I have.
And they volunteer at the school?
Yes, because the food we cook for them and the food we cook for the kids, we have it like the parents come and dig in the fields. They grow corn, they grow sweet potatoes, they grow Irish potatoes, and then we harvest that and then we feed the kids.
So you grow your own food that you feed the children, but you're doing more than just educating kids. You're changing the community because now people
a lot of the parents are learning skills that they use elsewhere.
Yeah, our mission as Hope Haven Rwanda is changing one family at a time. So it's not just giving education, it's even changing the entire family, changing the other, I mean, something that they believe in, that if I never went to school, I'm going to live all the total poverty life. They didn't know anything could change. They had no hope for any other life, even for their kids.
So now what happens is this. The kids are getting educated. The parents are learning trades like masonry or farming or whatever, cooking, certain skills. Then those parents, many of them have used those skills outside of the school. And some of the children have been able to learn and teach their siblings or even their parents. So it's infectious. It's wonderful. It's spreading. The entire community has changed because of this school. We'll get more to it. I'm going to take your calls as always, folks, but I just wanted you to know we have a wonderful common woman today, and she is here to observe. And you know what, Priscilla? I want you to give opinions. I know you said, I can't imagine Americans having any problems. That's what you said.
Yeah, because everything here is overwhelming. I don't know what could be a problem here.
Yeah, like a problem. Yes, what could a problem be? I mean, even going to a motel that is dirty does not compare to mud floors.
Yeah, because the houses in my community back in Rwanda, it's just mud. Even when it rains in the night, the next day you find the house down. So you're always risking your life, even if you have no any alternative. So it's not compared to a motel.
But I want to mention something. This is important. The people love each other. And the people, it's a whole different ballgame. Okay, let's get to the phones. 303-713-TALK. I promise, a regular show. But we have a wonderful guest. And then, of course, we have someone in from the referral list we'll get to and talk to him. Hey, Mike, what's going on? You're complaining about Brandon Dodge?
Yeah, I'm going to Dodge and probably a lot of other dealerships. It's just a business practice. I took my vehicle in.
Are you on a Bluetooth, Mike?
No, I'm not. Hold on here.
It's just very difficult to understand you. So, I don't know if it's is it your headset maybe? Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm not on that.
Oh, we can hear you perfectly now. Mike, what I want to say is this. Brandon Dodge, when you said you had a problem with Brandon, we have not gotten a lot of complaints about them lately, but we used to. We also got complaints about every Dodge dealer there is. And I truly believe this, that in the olden days, and I mean, 20 years ago, up till about, 4 years ago, Dodge dealers were a cut below regular dealers. I don't know why, but they had some really bad dealerships. Now, they called out some of the bad ones and literally shut them down. Dodge said, you know what? I'll give you an example. The Fitzgerald family in Northglenn Dodge, they were kicked out. No more. You can't have a Dodge dealership. They went in and closed. Now, Brandon, as I said, was not among the worst, but it was a pretty bad dealership in the day. And I have not heard a complaint, and I just want to be fair and say that. The same with Christopher Dodge. Christopher Dodge we had terrible complaints about, but we don't have any recently in the last 4 to 5 years. Also, Cherry Creek Dodge, the complaints we had there were minimal compared to all of the sales. That was probably the best one of the bunch. So let's get down to Brandon. What is the problem?
Service department.
All right.
I purchased a vehicle there. It was under warranty, so I had some warranty work. I put it in the shop. They were like, "Oh, you need a tire rotation at $60, and you need an alignment that's $120." So I authorized $180 worth of work. Well, when I went to pick it up, they were trying to charge me $230, and I said, "How is that? You told me it was 60 and 120. That's 180."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, it's 15% on top of the labor for what they call shop supplies. Now, it's up to $100.
Listen, man, I know it's ridiculous. They're supposed to, when you ask for an estimate, they can only increase it by 10%. Just to make a long story short, did they adjust the price or did they insist on the $220?
Oh, I threw a fit. They didn't adjust it, but it's still, you know, I mean, it should be disclosed every time.
You know, first of all, this thing about shop supplies, I go around and round with these dealers. I think it's ridiculous to throw on top shop supplies. They tell me, no, people need to know. I say build it into your pricing. Because how far do you take it? I mean, you could say college tuition, you know, kids' braces. I mean, how far are you going to go? Why do you delineate shop supplies? Why not electrical bill, plumbing? I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. But, again, if that's what you're complaining about, I'm with you, and a lot of people agree with you. If you have something specific, hang on. And again, Daft, check that phone because he started breaking up at the end. Our number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Kelly wants to talk about a 2012 Range Rover in Texas. Hold on.
This report is sponsored by the Denver Museum of Nature and Science.
No stalls, no accidents, and no major delays, no kidding. The drive across the highways in the Mile High City in pretty good shape right now. Just a blip of delay downtown on northbound I-25 either side of Colfax. Otherwise, I-25 looking good for...
You know,
you should have talked about your trip to Costco yesterday and how you have to be
Oh,
rich to
isn't
go there.
Costco amazing?
Oh, I mean, it was so fun.
Look at it from a perspective
amazing.
of being from outside the
Right.
country.
I think it's amazing going there just.
Well, she was like, is that a swimming pool? And then she was like, wait a second, you can get this many apples? And then she said to me, you would have to be very rich to come here. Is that, I mean...
Oh, yeah. First time I went to Costco and I brought my parents there. You've got to see this place. But you're right. I'm sure it's a whole different.
You know.
A grocery store. You probably take it in a grocery store, right?
I want to tell you about Bright Light Chiropractic. I love this clinic because Dr. Mike Hederscheit actually does chiropractic adjustments. So many chiropractors do not do adjustments anymore. He does a complete evaluation with digital x-rays and thermal scans for only $50. Even during specials, they're even cheaper than that. And adjustments start at just $35. You need to check them out at County Line and University. Dr. Mike Hederscheit. You can make your own appointment right here or find out about him. BrightLightDenver.com. BrightLightDenver.com.
Did you know?
Look, there's no reason why we can't. We have so many people contact us on a day-to-day basis that we can't get phone numbers from them. Do none of them leave their phone numbers, Dan?
You mean that contact us on email?
Yes. And on our voicemail.
Voicemail, yeah, they usually almost 100% get phone numbers in the voicemail. We only had one this morning.
A brand new, luxurious look in your kitchen in just a week or two. You now save
One to be thinking for 20 seconds.
No, I can do something like this.
Call and check us out. You can book your project now, install it, and enjoy it for many, many years to come. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replace the doors and doors. You have our award will feature right at that right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or DR in
No spot, right? Excel Roofing is the best company that I know when it comes to being run. What I mean by that is take regrets and put them in any company, and you'll find a great run company. Why? Because he believes first and foremost you should never penalize people if they don't want to use you. He's a roofer that says no penalties. He's a roofer who says you don't have to pay a dime until you're content, not a dime. And the actual saying is don't pay a cent until you're content. It's 303-761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com.
Do you want to learn how to get started making money, flipping houses?
So, Priscilla, what do you think so far?
If so, we have an amazing
How's Tom
opportunity
doing?
for
Any
you.
tips?
We're looking for
Any suggestions?
motivated individuals to join our
Perfect.
real estate
You're doing perfect, Tom.
You'll
Keep
be
up the good work.
introduced to our three-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area.
You're inspired?
Merrill, star of Annie's
You check the speed for chiggers.
Oh my gosh, that's reminding me of something. No comment.
Flipping houses in your spare time.
Well, are most people agriculture? Is that the the main industry in Rwanda?
That's reminding me of something. She wants to check
I'm
your
sorry?
paper sugar.
What is the main industry? Like, what does most people do? They farming? So there's no like factories or?
Factories are run by foreigners, like Kenyans.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I put together a piece for CBS Sunday Morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make sure that when it airs on Sunday morning, we'll post it. So
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be a really good one.
And you can see the school, you can see how Susan took the bush and built this 40,000 square foot school that these architects in Chicago designed. It is state-of-the-art computers. These kids have every advantage of American kids. Susan Holleran has such a spirit of excellence that she did everything that American kids have. And the Rwandan government is completely supporting her in what she's doing. In fact, I think that this is probably going to be a model for the rest of the world as far as forgiveness, reconciliation, opportunities in the way of education. Yeah, it really is. It really is. And, you know, it's so funny, this woman's in my Bible study, right? And she always has this, would you guys pray for my school in Rwanda? And, you know, I'm picturing something.
Being accused
And
of
then
a crime
she
can
started
ruin
showing
Get
me,
help
I was
with
like,
highly
Susan,
respected, skilled trial
I
attorney
go there
Joe
and,
Lazara. He's offering a
you know,
free
he
initial
was talking about
consultation
because
and up
we're
to
in our Bible study, we never talk
$500
about our backgrounds, what we do.
429-6200. That's 429-6200.
So we went and, you know, I honestly have to tell you, I felt closer to God.
Like I say, when you see people like that, having to live like that.
And the gratitude.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
We have lines open. You can get right through. And if you have any problem, question, or complaint, or you just want to sound off or give an on-air review. So many times things happen to us and we think, you know what, damn, that shouldn't have happened. Or I'm so upset, what do I do? You're not going to sue people. You're going to, you know, you're going to call. And maybe you get other people who had the same problem. And then we get together and do something about it. 303-713-TALK. It doesn't even have to be a complaint. You might just have an inquiry. It's always wiser to check out things before you engage in the transaction. We have with us today Rob Helvig. He's with the referral. He's on the referral list, and the name of his company, Helldigger Septic and Excavating. Why the name Helldigger? Hell-digger. Why?
Yeah, it's just kind of a play on words.
Helldigger.
From my last name. Yep.
Oh, your last name is
Helvig.
Oh, I get it. Helvig. Okay.
It's just kind of a nickname that kind of stuck with me.
Now, Rob, Septic and Excavating. Do you work directly for consumers? A consumer? I mean, I love having you on the referral list, but I'm thinking, who do you want to call? Who do you want to call? Somebody to say, "Hey, Rob, can you dig me a septic system?" I've never really heard of consumers using direct, although it's the wisest thing to do. I think so many times we have a job we need to do, and the only reason we can't do it or get it done is because of the excavating.
Well, most of it is for residential.
So somebody can call you and say, I want you to reshape this area, or I want to put in landscaping ties or terraces.
Well, 99% of the work I do is just septic.
Okay, just septic. So
if they need a water line or...
So do consumers call you directly for their septic?
Yep.
So you'll do the whole system?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So septic systems are still big in lots 5 acres or larger out in the country mainly, right?
Mostly, yep. I mean, they put them on, smaller lots, too. There's a lot of areas that, they don't have the sewer infrastructure.
No, of course not.
And they got to do the
but if it's done right, you don't have to redo septics, do you? If done right?
Well, they're engineered to last about 30 years at full use.
What would wear out? The leach field?
Yep, the leach field. The concrete tanks, you have gases in concrete tanks that eat concrete.
Okay, now, do the newer tanks not wear out, the plastic ones?
The plastic ones, that's the ones...
Are they forever?
Well, they should be, yep. They have a pretty good warranty on them. The gas isn't going to affect them. The only downside to plastic tanks, I would say, is groundwater.
Now, people don't have any idea what we're talking about. Some people listening, septic systems, they don't care. They don't know what a leach field is from anything. And we can explain some very basic things, and I'll tell you why. Because about 30% of real estate is going to have it, and you will be in major trouble if you don't attend to it properly. So hang on for that if you want to live in the country. Kelly, you bought a 2012 Ford Ranger in Texas, is that right?
A Land Rover.
A Land Rover. Did you buy it over the internet, or were you there?
I bought it over the internet. I'm in Colorado, and I purchased it online at Jaguar Land Rover of West Houston, which is an AutoNation dealer.
Okay, and what is it called?
Jaguar Land Rover.
J-U-R. Okay. And what is the problem?
Well, I bought it at the end of March. I still don't have my car.
Wait, so you bought it at the end of March. By the way, how did you get it inspected?
I haven't even gotten that far yet.
How did you buy it then? Are you committed to buying this?
Yeah, they already have my money. I have a loan.
Oh, so you did buy it, but you didn't inspect it. What do you mean you didn't get around to it? Inspection comes before the purchase. Is this is used?
Yes, it's a 2012. I thought you were meaning like a VIN inspection.
Yeah, so in other words, how do you know there aren't any major problems? Because without negotiating that before you buy it with all of its problems.
Well, I took the dealer at his word, and he told me there was absolutely nothing wrong with the car. I saw multiple pictures and things, and he said there was absolutely nothing wrong with it at all.
He said that. Can you prove he said that? Did he say that in writing anywhere?
He didn't say it in writing, but he told me over the phone.
Okay. So, Kelly, I don't know if you know the drill, but if you buy something as is, what that usually means is you buy it with all of the problems, unless they cheat you, meaning let's say they stuff a rag in somewhere to keep it from making a noise, or I'm talking about out and out cheat you or hide something. Other than that, you're pretty much stuck with it. But what I don't understand is what you're calling about. Since you don't have the car, how do you even know if there's a problem with it?
Well, I got the car. We had it shipped up to AutoNation dealer in Denver.
Oh, so you did get it to Denver to an AutoNation dealer. And what happened?
Yep. I had to pay up front for the transport. I went to go pick up my car.
All of that's normal. All of that's normal.
Yep, they gave us the keys. They went inside.
What happened?
Looking at the car.
What happened?
Crack with a rock chip in the windshield. I texted the gal at the transport company right away to tell her. Long story short, they refused to replace the windshield because
that's about $2,000, isn't it?
It's about probably $1,200.
Yeah.
They said the dealership didn't notate any defects, even though I notified her immediately. They refused to pay for that.
Now, Kelly, this is not because I don't want to help you. I do, and we'll try. But you couldn't have done anything more wrong than how you went about buying this. First, there was no inspection. Second, there was no contract with the transport company. Third, there was no guarantees of any kind. And fourth, it was sight unseen. I mean, all of this is just so difficult to untangle. All the guy has to say is, if he wants, he can say, I never told you it was perfect. Or, it was perfect when it left here, take it up with the transport company. The transport company says, we don't take responsibility, take it up with the dealer. I mean, you're going to be bounced around until we can, try to hold someone accountable.
Right, and that's not the worst part of it.
No, the worst part, and I hate to tell you this, because, I'm serious, Kelly, I do want to help you, but I want to tell you that you could not have chosen a worse vehicle to own as far as value and name and dependability, and I know you didn't call me for that, But Land Rovers and Range Rovers are the worst value in motor vehicle history. Now, if you are brave enough to stick around, we will delve into this. And I promise you, we will make some phone calls and see what we can do.
Anything with Rover, it's the worst vehicle in history. You can't be worse.
Now this is the 90s, this is new car, it's a $90,000 car.
Gee, now wait a second, but didn't they get sold and now they're not making them anymore? And isn't it like, who bought Range Rover?
Side, not seeing any delays on the turnpike. I-76 wide open.
Who bought Range Rover?
Out of the metro area. Just a minor blip of delay on westbound.
Isn't Range Rover and Jag all the same? I don't think
Weather forecast.
I think Ford.
Oh, really?
No,
20 seconds. Fix it.
BMW.
7 short. Howdy's guys in Denver. And
When BMW bought the Rover Group in 1994, wait. They named different companies. So Ford bought Range Rover in 2006.
That's it.
Now they're both
Who am I doing, long or short?
That's right. So they're not.
Which is owned by Tata Motors.
All right, got it. Let's do it. Fix It 24/7. Not only a great company, but great deals. Now, they let me do this every day at my discretion. So when you call, you have to say, Tom said it. Just say that, okay, and I'll stand behind you. Today we're going to do both the heating and the air conditioning systems cleaned, checked, adjusted with a no breakdown guarantee, and we're going to do both systems for $49 for the next 20 people who call. This is an extraordinary deal. You can look it up at fixmyhome.com, but you got to call them now. It's 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
There's nothing like
Sorry.
Damn. And there's nothing.
So the bad thing about this, Kelly, she bought it from an AutoNation and she had it shipped to an AutoNation. But I know it doesn't mean. And the crack in the windshield, they didn't know that when they took it from the transport guy.
Webinars and your conference room.
What do you think?
Connect easily from anywhere.
But she did have insurance on
or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software, no matter your technology needs.
You could do this there.
Small business. Do big things.
Solve problems. Tell me your problems. I'll solve them for you.
By Dell.
Adults who have crooked teeth and always wanted to deal with them, there is a way to do that. Dr. Kent Lawson has pioneered new orthodontics for adults. Straighten your teeth, widen your palate, take care of jaw alignment, help you with TMJ, stop sleep apnea with natural means in 2 years or less, way cheaper than getting a mouthful of veneers.
So it looks like
Aurora
it didn't work all the way
Orthodontics
down.
and TMJ, 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
For over 30 years, Donald Hartnett has led the industry with
850 years old.
You
look something like that, you know?
Well, you know, when I was watching it, I was thinking to myself,
it's
really symbolic.
Our most popular
Nobody really
Let's
is
talk about
maintaining
Cracker
our
Jack
church.
mudjacking.
Nobody's really,
Mudjacking. It's where you take concrete and sand.
and then when it goes up, we all
lift concrete to repair it. Concrete can be repaired, and they can get into tight places. They can lift basement floors. They can repair cracks. Call Cracker Jack Mudjacking. Free estimates.
Because look at,
Cracker
they
Jack
never really took care
Mudjacking
of
can
it.
take care of all of that. 60,000 jobs under their belt. 20 years in business. 303-410-7787. 410-7787. CrackerJackMudjacking.com.
You wonder why it burns. A
I think it
lot of
was
wood in there.
weren't they doing a renovation?
Oh, big renovation.
But they did save a lot of the relics. I heard that they had the crown of thorns.
years and older. Yeah, now, how would they verify they have a crown of thorns from Jesus' head? Come on.
That's all the churches.
Yeah. And by the way, they've sold enough slivers of the cross that it could build a cathedral. What are you saying?
It's not really?
There's always a scam, Dan. There's always some sort of scam.
What did he hang on a redwood tree? Like 6 of them?
straightforward.
They pass them around in separate trees. So
And it was a stake anyway. It was a stake. And the cross member was on his arm.
They keep selling. This is the cross. This is the cross. Anything on a redwood tree, they can't have that many leaves.
Or online.
You can't.
they planted them in the groove.
Now the shroud seems to be pretty.
They can help you with that.
I thought they just proved that. No?
I know.
They just proved that?
Show me a link. I don't know. I don't know one way or the other. I
saw
just
a Turan or regular.
Mortgage. They are going to be completely.
You know, I don't place faith on articles and us. Things that who does? I mean, if you do, you're going to be disappointed.
Ideal
Because someone's going to scam you.
Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA and MLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45 ideal.
Cutting back doesn't always mean you should give up on making healthy choices. When buying chicken from Redbird Farms, you're making the healthy choice. Redbird proves what real chicken tastes like. Visit RedbirdFarms.com or visit Kingston or City Market.
Simply Floors Inc. That's the website. You go there and save money. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Buddy Mitchell's the owner of a great business philosophy. He wants his salespeople to work and win. He wants his installers to win. He wants the consumer to win. Everyone's happy. That's why you get such great service. Better prices.
So, Amy, this is the one where the gym said something to her. Oh, no, this is the one I got at the gym. Never mind. What did that Amy say at the gym? What called her?
Oh, she said that she got a scam call that was from Visa, saying you had a $70 charge.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, we have Priscilla with us from Rwanda, and she's going to be here as our common woman. She's anything but common. Hey, if
you want to help this organization, please go to hopehavenrwanda.org. Look, check it out. And if you want to go to the gala, I'll be there. Please go there. Tell them you want to sit at my table. And let's keep going here. 303-713-TALK. And Bob, by the way, I got to go back to Kelly, but Bob, you hang on there, because if this lease was signed yesterday, let's see what we can do about it, okay? Are you there?
Right on, guys.
So you hang on, man, okay? Kelly, listen, as I said, I'm not going to, ride you anymore on this thing about, bad this, bad that. Let's see what we can do for you. All right, the car right now, you haven't taken delivery, but you did purchase it for all intents and purposes. It is at the AutoNation dealer here in town. And how, if you had it inspected, if you do have it inspected, even though it's afterwards, we can get an idea what this thing is all about. Did you have it inspected?
No, I went to take it home.
And you found, what did you find immediately?
Well, the rock chip was the first thing.
Okay.
And then we got in the car, started going, and then the suspension light came on, and it said it needed to cool down to raise the suspension.
Oh, my God.
So we stopped, and we kind of looked at it and everything, and then we tried to drive the car a little ways to see if it would raise to normal ride height, and it wouldn't. It was bouncing all over the road, was completely unsafe
How
to drive.
many miles on it?
The vehicle has 101,000.
Yeah. Okay. So, after the bouncing, what else?
It was unsafe to drive, so we had it towed to Land Rover Flatirons in Denver.
What did they find?
They said that there were holes in the airbags, and I asked them if they thought it was due to transport.
Oh, no.
And they said in their best opinion it was something that had already been pre-existing, probably why the people traded.
And Kelly, you understand that all of these problems are that's what as is means. Unless this would be a good example of them covering something up. Let's say that they did something to temporarily, like, put silicone on those airbag leaks or something, just to try to jury rig it until you got it.
Well, that's a safety concern, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
and here's the deal.
AutoNation comes with a 90-day warranty. But
okay,
what is
that? What does the 90-day warranty cover?
It covers the suspension, but not the bags.
Is there any kind of money-back guarantee? I thought they used to have one. Don't they have one?
They have a 5-day, 250-mile guarantee.
Yeah.
But it's not really a simple return on our side.
What is it?
Because I would have to pay over $700 to have it shipped back to Texas.
Well worth it.
So,
what else? I mean, well worth it. Well worth it. But what else?
And then I've already out the first shipping fee, so there's about $1,500.
What do you mean
and
first? The first shipping fee, right?
Yep. And I had to wait for the.
But that's not really their fault. If they're if they're willing to take this back and you don't do it, you're going to be so sorry. I know that you're going to be out if you ship it back. First of all, you ought to thank God if they do let you take it back and you only have to pay shipping. So let's say that's all you have to pay. How much will you be out both ways shipping?
About $1,500.
For both ways?
Both ways altogether, yep.
Okay. If you can get out of this thing for $1,500, no pun intended, you're miles ahead. But then you try to get that $1,500 back. But try to stop the bleeding. What I'm getting at is this. You're not going to get them to fix it. It's an as-is purchase, sight unseen. You're not going to get them to fix it unless we call and they just want to do it. They want to work with you. Now, Daphne, Mark had someone at AutoNation that worked with him on something else. Let's see if we can get that name. We can try to get them to work with you. But how much are we talking about if you take everything wrong with that car? How much is it?
To replace the airbags, it's $2,000.
What else?
Yesterday they called me.
But hold on a sec. I want to know how much it is total for everything to get that to normal condition. Not like new, but normal for that mileage. Hold on. We'll come back. And Bob, we'll see what we can do about the auto lease. Meanwhile, we have lines open at 303-713-TALK.
Denver Egress Window can put an egress window in for you or rebuild the one you have. Those windows
Is that her daughter
within
over
a
here?
window, you need to make sure it is
Richie has a baby.
Now these old ones look like crap that the builders put in. Denver Egress can renew it, rebuild it. They can make those short ones big and deep.
Oh my God, right?
They do beautiful work. You can find out by looking at their website, DenverEgressWindow.com, 720-626-4221.
Oh my God, I mean, I think it's wonderful she can handle it, but 2 children with that schedule?
Market volatility.
It's your mom taking care of
A
it.
brand new big. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 630 KHOW. If you
No, that banner just like right now?
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. I went to your website and that didn't really have a banner. We had, not the banner, but your, this thing had just had that. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your.
I gotta review it. Do you have HopeHavenRwanda.org up?
Yep, I got it
Okay,
every
good.
time it's on her. Yep.
You put money into it in
At first I didn't spell it right. I wanted RA, but then I looked it up. It's RW.
Yeah, it's just
RW.
It's RW.
So you save interest and have a good amount for retirement. 303-779-6600 to find out more. It's a safe.
Yeah, once you
check out my video at the
What was it like at when you did radio and what was it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you doing news?
So are they very good? Are you happy with them?
Well, I mean, I pay every month. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
But every time I call them and say, hey, can you fix this? Well, it's another.
So I know there's a lot of people.
You're like a troubleshooter.
Do you own it?
Yeah, there's no contract or anything.
Okay. So here's like I say, it'd be nice to have that stuff. Oh, it's not?
No, it's not mine.
This is not your,
No. On my, my Facebook page, it has all the stuff. But,
you're not in Juggle?
No. So, I mean, it's not really personal. It's like, mostly like the direct reach through Facebook.
Oh, I see. So you've done your Facebook yourself.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so you do the whole septic thing, you do the install and get it working and everything, not just excavating, right?
Excavating, yeah, yep, all the piping and
inspection.
Inspections, yep, I'm certified. I generally, because I'm so busy right now, like in the wintertime, I'll do inspections.
not as busy installing.
You know, so I got a cabin in Gilpin County, and I gotta get inspected, the septic systems. Everybody has to get their septic systems, newer ones, inspected every year. You know what? They're about the county and stuff. And I got, it's a bubbler type, is that area? Okay, that's what, and that was put in there, I don't even know about it, they just come inspect it. But everybody who has the newer septic system, and when I say newer, last 20 years, gotta get inspected every year.
Oh, wow.
So that would be a job where, that's, you know what Gilpin County is, right?
Yeah, I'm not licensed there.
Okay, oh, you're not?
That's what I'm saying.
But there's a lot there, because everybody, almost every, that's almost 100%.
Right, it's a full-time job right there, just doing inspections.
Not just inspections, but every new building has a septic system, right? You know, because everybody's got a little, because even though I live in a development, everything's like 1.5 acres. Everybody has their own, but they're all renewable.
Tom, so when she did her radio show in Rwanda, she would have people call in, right?
It's more of a challenge.
People would call in because they couldn't get you, or
basically have to, you're on a piece of granite,
or they
right?
couldn't get
You have to
a
build it up
contractor
or blast it,
or,
you know,
she was a troubleshooter in Rwanda.
Really calling?
Yeah, and she got help with that. She did exactly what you're doing there.
And I've always wondered that, and it's like,
What's that? It was a breakfast show. She was doing with another host.
And when did you do it?
Weren't very, how should I say that? Contractors aren't very.
So they would call in and they would say, this is a problem that we're having.
They like start.
And then she would
It's hard to get
fight for them.
Hard to get somebody.
Yeah, yep. Because I mean, sometimes I'll go up to Boulder, and it's just like, holy cow. I mean, these people in their Porsches or whatever just flying fast, and you got your trailer and trying to go down the hill. And
Okay, hopehavenrwanda.org. And you can buy a ticket. I'm going to be there.
hopehavenrwanda.org. Oh, I went there and I didn't see the.
You'll see her picture when you go to hopehavenrwanda.org.
Okay, I'm there.
hopehavenrwanda.org.
Yeah. I don't see you.
It says Fabric of Hope. So go to the main.
What?
Huh?
Is that the name there?
Hope Haven Rwanda. Go down. Oh, it's. I thought it was on the very first page. Okay. Well, okay. Let's see. Maybe go to Get Involved.
Invest, engage, right here. Donate, invest.
Huh. There's the gala information.
Okay.
But the one that I did, it was the Fabric of Hope. It's called Fabric of Hope is the event.
Okay.
But you're right.
I'll cut this and paste it.
No. Go, just go Fabric of Hope. Maybe change the web address. Get out of this. Do another search and type in Fabric of Hope, and then they won't have to go through all the different Hope Haven, Rwanda, Fabric of Hope.
Oh.
Just write Fabric of Hope.
Everyone reach their full potential. At
Fabric of
ADP,
Hope.
we're designing a better way to work.
Fabric of Hope.
You can achieve what you're working for.
No, and then write Hope, and then write Rwanda. What are you on, Bing or Google?
It jumps to
There we go.
Okay, that's yours?
I care as your
No,
hometown
get out of it. That's what, here, get out of that. Go.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino.
Fabric of Hope,
I
click
Care
that,
has
click
done
that,
more
use
than
that, click that.
250,000 Colorado with the top surgeons around. I'm getting the word out about Denver's.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, so use that link.
See the world in a whole new light. Toss your glasses and contacts away. Call
Mark didn't give us an angel, did he?
So we'll do Tom, say Fabric of Hope.
Or visit Icon iCare.
Well, Hope Haven Rwanda / Fabric of Hope. But Fabric of Hope is ..
Yeah, that's really.
I know, but so what? If you write if you're on a Google search, it'll go right to it. Fabric of Hope. It'll go right to the page. Otherwise, it's a little bit of a hunt and pack to find out how to register.
Has your shot at $1,000.
To go to some donate page.
Nationwide keyword income to 200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message.
We have to hear Priscilla's story. It's amazing.
Income.
Amazing.
This
is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303 713-TALK, 303-713-8255, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. Let's just get to the phones, okay? Now, we have some very special guests today, and I'll get to that because I truly love when people help each other, and Fabric of Hope, which is the name of the gala, is such an event. But that's not the only reason I'm talking about this. I just wanted you to know about this school started by a woman in Colorado. Susan Holland started this school in Rwanda. It's called Hope Haven, Rwanda. The website's hopehavenrwanda.org. She started this school under a tree 7 years ago, and now they have a giant campus due to all of their generous people, and of course a lot of her own blood, sweat, and tears and money went into this place. And now what they'd like to do is expand and make a high school. They feed the children. They have uniforms. They have a structure. The families work there. The entire community has been transformed. And I have the original teacher here, plus she's there as a family relations expert, and she works at the school still to this day from the very beginning. And her name is Priscilla. And Priscilla, I know it's culture shock. Your first time in America. Is it your first time outside of Africa?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
Was it your first time on an airline?
Yes, it was the first time.
Was that fun?
It was, I was a little bit, I was scared to get on a plane for the first time.
Yes.
I kept my eyes open for 27 hours. You can't believe.
You could not relax.
Yeah, because I was like, what is coming next? So, yeah.
And what about the schools you visited here?
The schools here are really great. The life here for the kids here is not compared to the life back home. I visited a few schools here. I talked to some of the kids. Their life is totally different. It doesn't look like a day in Rwanda for a child there. No. No, because the children have to get their own water and start out. I mean, there's no running water, no electricity. They live in mud huts, and they're wonderful children. Why are they so happy? Why is everyone in Rwanda so happy? I think they have accepted what they have, and they are grateful for what they have, because our country really came from far, 25 years now down after the genocide. A lot of kids are orphans. We have a lot of widows. We have a lot of people who are homeless. But when you have this person who loves you, who comes around and say, there is education here, then they are grateful. They don't want to know if I have to walk 1 hour up to school, if I have to fetch water down the hill. They want to work. Yes, they really work hard, and they are happy. They smile a lot when you come there, you see them. Now, when Stephanie went over there to do her documentary, and she said she has never seen more love. Yeah. I mean, she didn't mean just at the school. She meant in the city. Everywhere. Everyone is happy. There is so much of forgiving and reconciliation in Rwanda. And kind. People are kind. There's no rudeness. She said it seems weird almost. It's like... Yeah, I mean, we have learned to love each other since we have a history of hatred between us, which was brought by the colonialists. But today we know the truth that we have to love each other. There is nothing that can bring us apart. Wow. Yeah, there is no lie now we can accept. Everyone that goes to that country falls in love with it. Ellen fell in love with it, and she's doing that big gorilla sanctuary there. Mm-hmm. And everyone who visits there, and I'm saying even more so than other countries in Africa, that country stands out. There's a pride, there's a love, there is security. Our country has security. There is women empowerment. We have the biggest number in the government in all the countries. You can search about that. For women? Yes. Good, good. Kelly, so this 2012 Range Rover that has multiple problems, have you had an estimate on the entire ball of wax? You bought it as is. You kind of feel like that guy misled you down there in Texas, that AutoNation dealer who said it was in perfect condition, needed nothing. You get it here, and you notice right away a rock chip on the windshield. Then you notice the suspension did not fill up. There's holes in the airbags. It'll cost $2,000 for the airbags, but and then $1,200 for the windshield. But what are we looking at total? Is that the total, $3,200, or is there more?
That's the total.
Okay, yes, well, you know what? It could have been way worse. So we're looking at around $3,200, and then I want your gut feeling. If the windshield and suspension was fixed, is it in nice shape?
Yes, beautiful.
Okay. And what about the dealer that you have it there now? They say it's a pretty good vehicle?
They didn't indicate there was anything else wrong with it.
Okay. Would you ask, is it still there?
Yes.
I'd like to call them if you give us permission. Listen, if we're going to go asking for help, we need to get a complete picture. So here's what we're going to do, Daff. We're going to keep this for car day, and between now and car day, I'm going to give it to Deputy Dan to look at with, if you can get a contact at the dealer where it is right now, and then have Kelly ask them to do an assessment of that vehicle. That's how we're going to do this one. Now let's go to Bob. And Bob, you have a problem with, or no, you want to know if there's a problem. Your friend wants to get out of this lease. Explain the situation.
Hey, Tom, this is Bob.
And by the way, we have lines open now at 303-713-TALK. Bill dropped off for some reason. 303-713-8255. So, Bob, talk about your friend. He went to McDonald's Mercedes for a lease?
It's actually Mercedes-Benz of Westminster.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it says McDonald's here. Okay, Mercedes-Benz of Westminster. And what happened?
It's kind of a first-world problem. Guy goes into the Mercedes dealership for with a flat tire. Needed to buy a new one. It's a special order tire from Mercedes. He leaves with a $110,000 lease.
How old is this guy?
He's about 50.
So he's not.
English is his third language.
I mean, he's not senile or anything. The reason I say that, Bob, I had a story one time. A guy went out for some milk and pulled into a dealership instead of a convenience store, and ended up coming out with a car. And his wife called me, and it turned out he had Alzheimer's. And I'm not talking about this dealership, but it was another dealership years ago. We got him out of it. That's the only reason I asked that question. Now let's talk about this guy. You said English is his third language?
Correct.
Okay, so how did it go from trying to buy a tire to driving away with a car?
He bought a bunch of cars from this dealership, and
they said, hey, instead of buying a tire, why not just get a new car?
Exactly. He's in the waiting room, the classic service waiting room, to get a new tire installed.
Yeah.
He bought.
He was waiting for a tire to be installed, and what happened?
The sales guy asked him to take a look at the new model, and $100,000 lease later, he's traded in his vehicle last night, and he's got a $100,000 car that he doesn't really need.
Did he drive away with that car?
He did, and we're en route with this. My buddy and I are en route back to the dealer now.
Okay, so
we're going to see if we can untie the deal.
Well, let's hope they didn't title it yet. I mean, this thing is, they usually move at the speed of light if they think there's any remorse there. So the car that he traded in, first of all, there's nothing wrong with leasing. But when you trade a car in on a lease, you get zero credit for it. Zero. Even though they show you on paper, I will tell you that probably 99% of the time when people trade in a car on a lease, they're getting screwed. So did he have equity in that car? Was it paid off? What was that deal?
Yeah, it was a very similar car. It's about a $100,000 car.
Did he owe
about 20?
Did he owe money on it?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so he traded in a $100,000 car.
Yeah, it was originally, when it was new, it was $98,000.
Well, then it's not worth but $50,000. How old is it?
It's a couple years old, so let's call it $50,000. They're offering him $25,000.
They gave him $25,000 for it?
Officially, so that is not really on the trade is not on the paperwork. So
no,
it's totally separate.
But
it's just a clean lease.
Okay, so on the trade, they bought it from him.
Officially, and they have possession of it.
I understand, but I need wait.
I don't know if they're going to untie it.
One thing at a time. He sold them his Mercedes on a separate deal.
That's true.
Did he get a check for $25,000?
No.
What did he get a check for?
No, he didn't get a check at all. It was he's waiting for the title. So he's supposed to bring the title in.
And then what? Will they write him a check?
we want to untie the whole thing, but that's
no,
the way
Bob,
it's
can
go
you answer questions? I'm saying if it goes through, I need to know this. Will they write him a check, or did they say it's applied to the lease?
No, they'll write a check.
Okay, so
totally separate.
I get that. Do you know how much he will net if he takes the title in and it goes through?
25.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And did he think that was acceptable?
That's my point, is like what the guy really needs to do is he needs to buy retail one tire, pay to get it installed.
Bob, we know this. I'm trying to figure out what was going through his head, because they're going to throw it at us. They're going to say the guy thought he had a great deal, he loved it, he did this. I'm not asking questions because I'm trying to talk you into it. I get it. You want him to get out of the deal. That's why you called. That is my goal. But I need background information. Did he think it was a good deal when he looked at that 25 grand?
I would say no.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
What do you? But if we can get inside his head, it helps us. It helps us. Did he feel forced? Did he feel stupid? Did he feel what? What was he thinking? Did he think at the time, oh well, you know, it's better than nothing? I mean, he's got to be able to explain it to you. No, I mean, does he talk?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so
it basically says that it's presented as a lease was presented as a better tax write-off than owning a vehicle free and clear, and things like.
Well, a lease is a better. Hold on, a lease is a better deal than a free and clear car when you're writing off taxes for business. But there are so many other factors. For goodness sakes, sure. A lease. You know, I mean, I don't want people listening thinking, "Oh, Tom says I should lease." I didn't say that, but does he use this car for business?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of business is he in?
He just runs 4 offices in Denver. So he drives between 4 offices.
All right, now this new car, the lease itself, does it look like a screw job to you?
I don't know enough about a $100,000 lease to know is the truth, because I'm just.
All right, I'm going to give you. I'll give you the action steps. You hang on. Okay, let's talk about exactly what to do when you go back there, since you're on your way. 303-713-8255.
Sponsored.
$100,000 lease.
Help mom.
How many years? How many years out?
We can talk about Howard Johnson's also, so I can give out that phone number, okay? I'll put that on the screen.
Area at this time, with the exception of seeing some flowing in both directions of Hamden, either side of River Point, so watch out.
Is English the Rwanda, the language of Rwanda?
No,
You speak very good English.
Yeah, thank you. But we speak Kinyarwanda, and most of people speak French because we recognize the Dominicans and from.
Okay.
Yeah, but.
So what do you know, French, English, and?
No, I'm not good in French because I was a refugee in Uganda, so I don't speak English.
That's right, you said that.
So here's what happened, okay? They wanted to, when the colonization happened, the Rwanda, Africa got along great. So when the colonization happened, they wanted to gain power. So they literally measured noses and heights.
What's that?
And if you were tall and had a long nose, you were a Tutsi. If you were short and had a wide nose, you were a Hutu. They gave all the Tutsis all the privileges. And the Hutus got upset about this, and they created a division. They gave identification cards, and the Belgians created the genocide. And then it was a state-sponsored genocide where there was so much resentment. The Hutus said, we're going to take out the Tutsis. And they ran away. She ran away to Uganda and lived in a refugee camp. Okay, horrific.
What year was this?
This was 25 years ago this month. The
Guys,
Rwanda
I have to do a spot.
Call and check us out.
So
book your project now
they have no identification card. They have a museum there. It's
kitchens, baths, counters, and floors.
1 million people in 100 days.
You have our awardable feature items.
Husbands killed wives.
303-722-2295, 800-363-370, or grhi.com.
TheHormoneBros.com. It's a funny sounding website. I made it up so these 3 brothers could get their name out there, and it's easy to remember. TheHormoneBros.com. What do? They optimize hormones. That's one of the many things they do. They have an age-defying practice. they do fillers and Botox and things like that, cosmetic procedures. They have a thread lift that they do that has phenomenal results that can last for years for just really a few $1,000s. No, a few $100s. I'm sorry. It doesn't even get to $1,000. And Revitalized Health is dedicated to helping people with nutrition, with optimizing hormones, and with really just defying age or managing age. They're good people. They're out at Ken Carroll and 470, 720-361-2302, 720-361-2302 for an observation and a consultation free of charge, thehormonebros.com.
Do you want to learn how to get
So what happened was Paul Kagami was a Tutsi, and he was one of the ones like still in her family that escaped.
How do I block an email address? Do you know?
Google. Smart as spam.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't block it, does it?
Sends it to spam.
So he created an army who came back in and knocked out the Hutus. And so it was a Tutsi who came back into control. But he said we're going to reconcile with each other. And he forced a lot of the Hutus out. But everyone's come back now, and they've done what no other country's been able to do, you know, bury the hatchet. No pun intended.
Is this a religious thing, or?
No, it wasn't. It was all based on, it was a genocide. It was ethnic cleansing. It was terrible.
So
but
who started it?
the Belgians,
No,
by
why-
measuring noses.
But no. But why would they have said, okay, kill him? Kill each other.
It's really
Well,
weird.
because
it
after
started
so many,
in the media.
well, after so many years of having the Tutsis get everything and the Hutus not get, the Hutus, they organized. It was so
There was a
demonic.
clash.
Totally.
There were
It was
rich
a
and
civil
poor.
war, yes. Well, because of this, because of the way they set it up, that one group was going to get the favoritism, and then the Hutus said, "We're going to take them out." It was awful. They pitted them
Based
against-
on your nose?
Based on
There's
height
so
and nose.
many things, but they wanted to separate them.
They wanted to gain control, and they divided
When
the
people tried to fake it and say, I'm not a Tutsi,
Okay, it's the same thing that Hitler did with the Jews.
yes.
They
Same
actually
thing.
brought they are the ones who brought everything that was used in the genocide, the machetes, the panels, because they never used guns.
It was horrific.
Most of it was just cutting people into
1 million bodies piled on top of each other down the river.
In 100 days.
In 100 days. There's a great book on Macaulay wrote called Left to Tell if you really want to know about it. But the president of Rwanda is a Tutsi.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So the guy signed an auto lease for a $100,000 vehicle. He was at Mercedes of Westminster. That's not a bad dealership. So what do you do about it? He also had a contract to sell his car separately. Now, the one good thing they did was they made the deal separate. Because when you trade in a vehicle on a lease, you will never get credit for it. You lose money every time. But it looks like the guy lost money anyway, selling this Mercedes for $25,000. Who knows? I don't know what the value is for it. I don't know how old it is. But Bob, just out of curiosity, this vehicle he agreed to sell for $25 grand. What year is it?
2013.
Okay, so it's a 6-year-old car, and how many miles on it?
I don't know the details, other than it's got over 80.
Yeah,
It's
it's
got like
gonna. Yeah,
85.
it might be worth 40 or 50. It might be. I don't know. I don't know. I do know this. I do know this. I was selling a Mercedes one time, and I did not want to go through Craigslist, and I didn't want to go through Cars.com. Although Cars.com, I didn't want to go through Blinker, but although Blinker's great, because I didn't want to meet people. I just wanted to sell this damn thing, and I got a buy offer from Westminster, and I got a buy offer from Murray Motors. And Murray blew them out of the water, and Westminster was a little stingy. Now, I'm not saying they're bad people, but they were very low priced. And so, but that's smart for them, right? They try to buy as cheap as possible. That's what they're supposed to do. You know, they're in the business of selling cars, not buying them. So by trying to get this for 25 grand, the guy that did that did a great job for the dealership. I don't think your friend made out well. Now, let's talk about the lease. The lease, you know, I think there are all kinds of ways to get out of this if, in fact, he didn't even bring him title on his car,
And then, but they're going to tell you they have a deal. But I don't look at Westminster as being hard-nosed, fist-clenched people. I don't see them as that. I think you talk to a supervisor or someone in charge and just say, the guy felt pressured. He just doesn't want to do this. He's going to have a bad taste in his mouth every single day. He doesn't want to do it. He went there for service. He doesn't want to do it. And I think they're going to let you out of it. I'd like you to call me because I really believe they're going to let you out of it. These people, they're not bad people. They're just not. Especially if the car hasn't been titled. He is driving the car. That's the unfortunate thing. I mean, you're putting miles on it right now, taking it back there. How many miles are on it?
7. It's 11. Well, 7 when he got it. Got 11 on it right now.
Great.
So we're really close.
Really?
We're under 20.
I mean, we're talking about. I think you're allowed on a new car in Colorado to have 1,400 miles. Comes to mind. I might be off, but that's pretty damn good. So.
Well, Tom, I've always trusted you as my wingman. You really ride in my front seat with me over the last 30 years.
Thank you.
Doing all kinds of work, and I appreciate your opinion.
How serious is this? How serious is this guy about getting out of it?
He is. We're asking for a favor, and what we're really asking for is a chance to take your step and they won't buy the next 3 or 4 cars.
That's what you tell them, Billy. You talk to the people. They're not. I'm telling you, I deal with Westminster from time to time with my vehicles. They're not bad people. So, but I want you to let me know what they say. I wouldn't take no for an answer. I'd say, look, if the guy has to, he may end up just turning this back in. He's not going to give you title to his car. And they would have to do what's called specific performance. If he doesn't sign title, they have to get a court to order him to sign it. I don't see them doing it. They're just not that kind of people at Westminster.
I think it's going to end well, but I feel a lot better having you in my corner. I appreciate
Call me back, though. I really want to know. So, Daff, give him a callback number. I really want to know. Let's talk to John, who has an update. John, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Skyline View Apartments kept money. Now, let's explain what was going on there, Daff.
So he was making payments, and they just weren't putting the money towards his lease, and it was very confusing for him.
Where was the money going? Was he living there?
He was living there. It was a change of management companies.
And they said he lost a payment, or he didn't make a payment, right?
Yeah, they were very confused, but I think it was between the 2 management companies. They finally figured it out, and we have such wonderful listeners, and we had a lot of money donated.
But, John, what was your situation? Were you actually behind in payments?
I was half a month behind.
Right, but you intended on paying, and
yes.
What happened?
Basically, what it was is they weren't putting the money towards the bill.
When you were paying in toward that, what they were saying technically is we're not going to take partial payment. Isn't that what?
That's right. That's right.
Because with today's rental market, they're looking to get rid of you, and you're saying, look, I realize I only had half the money, but every time I get more money, I'm giving it to you. And they didn't like that.
But what people don't understand is when you live on disability, I get very little help from the VA.
We know that. We know that, John.
My case has been pending for 12 years.
I know. John, it's too bad veterans have to go through this. And we did have a heart for you. We did feel it wasn't a typical call with somebody trying to scam something out of the landlord. You were truly trying to make payments to make it up, and they were not. And they were not receiving them. What ultimately happened?
They gave me a 3-day notice.
And then what?
I called you guys, and within a couple of days, we had it all settled, and you guys helped us, and we appreciate it so much that we were actually, with the money that you gave us, we actually had a little left over to buy food and to put a little on our electric bill.
John, thank you for letting us know. And
what little I still have, we're not spending it.
Listen, you are a good guy. You served your country. And now what we want to do is we want to help you with the VA thing. we have someone at VA that will look into situations for us, okay? So if you could just make sure we have your contact. Mark this, Daphne. This is great. Thank you for working on this. A lot is happening on the Troubleshooter Show.
Sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
I
said I'm sitting right next door.
Tom, 1 minute, K&H Small. 1 minute. And for the most part, you're in decent shape. A little bit of flooding on the westbound side of 6th Avenue, either side of Federal. That's in that great interchange right there. Otherwise, driving down looking good. I-25 up the street from Portland Northwest through downtown, traveling into the tech center. And no delays on I-70 from Arvada all the way out to Pena Boulevard. The weather forecast.
Right?
About a 30% chance
Okay,
of
so let's see what they say.
thunderstorms today with a high near 67.
Crystal, do you have to use the
Tonight,
restroom?
a chance of showers overnight.
No,
low
you're good.
around 41. Right now, mostly cloudy skies. 20
We
seconds.
aim to please around
52. Traffic and weather. IP 6:30. K-How.
This month at Napa Auto Parts stores, get a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic Oil, plus a Napa Platinum Oil Filter for $21.98. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
K&H Home Solutions, they do have solutions like the best siding ever made. Oh, I love this stuff. It's made with minerals from the earth along with plastics to make it weatherproof of all kinds, and it has a color-fast coating. Well, not even a coating. It sinks in. The color goes through and through. You never have to paint it. In fact, there's no maintenance at all with this. It's the best siding ever, and the best news about the best siding is that the best company, K&H Home Solutions, is giving 40% off. That's nearly half off your project. That's 40% off. Everlast Siding. Ask for Everlast Siding. Also, on windows and doors, you get 25% off. What a great time to redo your house. It's springtime. You can get new siding that, by the way, has a wood grain and texture. It's truly beautiful, and you never have to touch it again. 303-421-7100, 421-7100, or make your own appointment at khwindows.com.
Embarrassed by your smile? Dr. Barrett with Barrett's Dental here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. My team and I go above and beyond, taking the time to ensure you feel safe at my office and are confident receiving the care you need to have a beautiful, vibrant smile that you deserve. At Barrett's Dental, we offer total dental solutions, which means we can handle all aspects of your care in one safe location without the need to refer you out from doctor to doctor to doctor. If you do feel safe at my office, it's the last place you'll have to visit for honest and excellent dental care. We can solve your problems no matter how complex they are. Call my office today to set up a free consultation and take great care of you.
If you're looking for a safe place for your dental care, call Barrett's Dental today at 303-731-1308 or visit dentaldentist.com for your free consultation. Mention K-How and you receive 50% off on your first $1,000 in dental services.
I went out to the Art of Granite and I met Mitch. I love this story about Mitch. He came to America with $300 in his pocket. He starts working in granite and then decides to have his own place. But he does it a different way, okay? He's not a giant depot. Art of Granite fabricates beautiful countertops and supplies cabinets direct from the manufacturer. They are a direct importer of granite, quartz, and other natural stone. And then he makes it beautiful with artistic edges, backdrops, and they also do, of course, other stones like marble. They do limestone. They do all kinds of stone, by the way, natural stone or artificial or what they call composite stone.
Thank you.
Never mark up the stone ever. You pay
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, the second time.
How do you do? You actually dig them out? Needle? Like a hot needle?
386-5919. I promise you, if you shop around, you'll pick Mitch at artofgranite.net.
Taylor's Talk Station.
Is it like a little that big?
Doesn't want to own their home fashion, but can it be done without paying more money?
If you dress as it's like sending your kids off into the world with
Okay.
backpack of dynamite.
That's over $308,000 in interest.
Is that really?
Affordable interest mortgage at 720-895-0500 and learn how not to pay all that interest. We're holding an educational seminar at Memory Lane Museum on April 18th at 6:30 p.m. Join us for dinner and a walk through the 50s and 60s with cars,
cars, motorcycles, an old-fashioned diner, and more. Go to aimortgage.com/events to reserve your seats. Learn how simple interest mortgages will save you thousands in excess interest while allowing you the ability to access your equity when needed. Join us for dinner at the Memory Lane Museum.
I think what everybody wants to know is, are you Democrat or Republican? No one wants to.
It's the wrong show.
You know what you should do is bring her to some of the homeless there and look and see that this is our homeless area. It's probably still better than what
Of the
a lot
unfortunate
of people live
homeowners who
there.
get home
No,
and
it's bad.
visiting the giant
I mean, I just sit there.
Well, what really gets you in Rwanda, like she said, because of the genocide, there were children left behind, and lots of widows and orphans, and you see children, just little itty bitties with nothing. I mean, one little baby girl just died at Christmas, and her sister had to watch because no one fed her. A baby, a perfectly healthy baby. I mean, you can't even compare what's there.
Oh, I agree.
No, I mean,
buyandbuild.net.
and I would say to Susan, we can't leave that child, and she'd say, you're going to have to get tougher, Stephanie. This is a tough place. You can't even imagine.
No.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Our guest, Priscilla, is with us from Rwanda, HopeHavenRwanda.org, a school that is just wonderful. I just want to say something very quickly and get this out of the way because it pisses me off. I got one email, only one, but it is a thought that sometimes prevails in this country. I'm going to give you an example. Email says, we got a lot of hungry kids here in America. Why not help them? Oh, by the way, we should, okay? But what I never understood is why, that's saying if someone buys a ticket or helps HopeHavenRwanda.org that they can't help domestic children. Of course they can. And I would do work for abused animals. And you know what? I would inevitably get an email that says, what about abused children? So, okay, does that mean then don't help abused animals? Just kick them and let them die and suffer because we have abused children. How stupid is that? We have to help wherever and whenever we can. Okay? That's what it's all about. Helping wherever and whenever. What shouldn't happen is the government tells us where and when. We should be able to do that because we have a heart for it, and some people have hearts toward children, others have senior citizens, others want to help in other ways, they want to help the environment. You know, it's just such a stupid thing to say. Such a stupid thing to say. Well, what about kids in America? Well, what about them? Let's help them. Here's the deal. Right now we're talking about this Rwanda school because it's literally changing the world. The world, because these kids who would otherwise be relegated to a life of poverty, one of them could be a doctor, one of them could be the president, one of them could be a professional helping others. And that's what they do. They want to help their community. Priscilla, you fought to be educated and came back to help your community, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And that's the hope.
Yeah, I came from a refugee camp and didn't stop me from fighting to be in school and then to come back and change the community. I wouldn't wish to see my community look like the way it looked like when I was still young, because I went through this and I don't want to see my community going through this. Yeah.
So helping others is a way of life in Rwanda, and it's a way of life for many people here in America, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of America. America gives more than we give credit for. You know, a lot of people look at Americans as selfish and self-centered and materialistic. But you know what? There are a lot of wonderful Americans who help the world.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, didn't you say that Rwandans love Americans?
Yeah, Susan is American. She came as a savior in my community. She's not a Rwandese. No.
Right.
No.
But and you said they have sometimes even an unbalanced view. They think that all people from America are going to help them. They feel it's just like
yeah.
You know. Anyway, here's the deal. We're talking to Priscilla, and I'm asking her impressions. By the way, you studied radio?
Did I do
Did you do radio in Rwanda?
I did for 2 years, but you know what?
You were on the radio in Rwanda?
Yes, and I did it because I wanted to be a voice for some kids who were going through the life I went through.
So you had a show, and yes. You helped, and what did you call the show?
It was a breakfast show, and we could always call in for people who have problems. And I'm
No
surprised,
way.
like,
No way.
yes.
People called you for problems?
Yes, exactly. They
No,
could-
like, give me an example of somebody that called you. You were really on the radio doing what I do, in a way.
Yes, there are so many people who called in telling us, we've been in this supermarket. It's really dirty. The food seems to be so dirty. Would you please help us and talk to police to come and look at
And
this
then you would
supermarket?"
call people to take care of it.
Yes. we will
Oh,
do that.
my goodness, what a
Priscilla,
copycat.
do you have any advice for Tom? How do you think he's doing?
He's doing great. I mean, I'm inspired.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously, so you had that's wonderful. Did you have any serious problems you helped with?
Yeah, we did. We had some problems like getting documents, like when you're looking for a passport and when you go to your local leaders to get that paper that takes you to the immigration, it takes you like a whole week. That would be a big problem, and the person would call in, please, would you talk to our leaders?
I can't believe this.
You have the Rwandan
we have a
troubleshooter.
Rwanda style. When did you begin this show?
I started, it was in 2010. I had just finished my high school. I was going to join my college.
Did you call yourself you didn't have a title or anything, you just said, hi, I'm Priscilla, and that...
Oh, all right. I should say, when I was young, I used to like Oprah Winfrey. So when I went to the show, they asked me, do you want to use your name? I'm like, no, I want to be the Rwandan Oprah. So
Did you call yourself Rwandan Oprah?
yes.
Oh, my
in
goodness.
my Facebook,
That is
even
so cool.
Everywhere, people called me Rwandan Oprah because I was
Rwanda Oprah.
yeah, I wanted to be like her, to save kids like her, because I saw she did a lot and she inspired me. So
That's
she was my model
great.
when I was young.
Thank you for that story. Hey, what's going on, Sherry, with your lease? What's happening?
Tom,
Yes.
I listened to part of your conversation about this older gentleman and the lease car.
Yes.
I unfortunately have a Nissan lease that's going to be up, not in July, I thought, but June, late June. So I know the word screwed is in the vocabulary, and I'm wondering, what the heck can I do?
Now, Sherry, so your lease, you lived through your lease. Did you go over mileage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did. Did you, do you think the car's in bad shape?
No.
How many year lease was it?
3.
That's not that bad, okay. And so how much over miles are you?
Well, they only allowed me 36. I'm now closing in on 60,000.
Oh, my God. You're
Yeah,
double.
I do a lot of traveling.
Well, now listen, when I said leases are not bad, leases aren't. Leases are a great way to own a car if you first live within the terms, meaning you never terminate early, never, and then you always stay within the miles, so that means you give yourself a fair amount of miles, and that you you don't do a trade, and then you watch the acquisition cost. It's too late to go back on your lease, but what I'm saying to people is if you do a lease, don't just do one. You have to make sure you protect yourself. Now, let's talk about you. You went double the miles. You're going to have such penalties to buy out this lease. You're going to be what they call upside down. It's akin to someone buying a car and owing way more than the car's worth, and that's what's going to happen with you. Now, there is a way out of it, but a lot of people don't like this way. If you're going to buy that car, you can buy it from yourself instead of turning it in, and then you absorb the penalty, which is non-existent because you're willing to pay for it. And then at least you keep the car. If you don't do it that way, you have to pay and you give up the car. Just paying a little more, you get to keep the car. So I don't know how you feel about the car. You may want to get rid of it. How do you feel about the car?
Oh, I took very good care of it. I do like it very much.
Okay, so if it's only 3 years old, I would, if I were you, take out a 3-year loan, unless you can afford to pay it off. What is your financial situation?
Not able to.
Okay, you might want to take out a 3 to 5 year loan and simply buy the car from yourself. Now, you have to tell the dealer or you don't have to necessarily go back to the dealer. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that. This is the first time around here.
You don't have to go back to that dealer. You deal with who owns the car?
Nissan.
Is it a Nissan lease?
Yes.
Okay. You can go to any Nissan dealer or to a Nissan rep, have they contacted you yet about having it inspected?
Well, I was waiting for you. I went into my email, and in the finance management, yeah, there is one.
Someone called you?
No, there's a letter, so I
And what does it say?
Well, I didn't pull that one out, but this one here says, congratulations, you're pre-approved for a new Nissan.
Now, that's because they want to keep you leasing again. There would be nothing wrong with that if you don't have to work a lot of penalties into it. If they would waive the penalties for you to get a new lease, there's nothing wrong with a lease, but you have to get mileage you can live with. Here's another thing. I just want to explain this to you. The reason there are penalties, well, hold on, and I'll tell you exactly why there are penalties and how you get around it by buying it.
This reporting.
Tom, 1 minute, Fuller Law 30 spot. 1 minute.
Accidents or really any major delays across town. Didn't think you'd mind that. Just a bit of delay on.
So you've changed your hairdo, Priscilla.
What do you mean?
From this picture. Yeah, straight here. I like your hair now.
Yeah, so let me see what you have an earlier picture of.
It's on that flyer.
It's on the fabric.
Oh, yeah.
Chance of afternoon thunderstorms again today with a high of 67. Night showers continue overnight. A low
So on that flyer?
Mild showers again throughout the day.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You know what? Mention that she's going to be telling her story. She's going to be speaking, and some of the kids are going to be coming in and dancing. Not much.
Do it right.
They're flying some of the kids from a school for the gala to sing and dance, and then she's going to tell her whole story.
Fuller Law short.
$99. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through April 24th.
If you're in an auto accident or injured in any way, especially auto accidents, call John Fuller for free legal advice. That's right, he'll talk to you. He'll do all of those consultations free of charge. If you think you need an attorney, if you want John Fuller, he will come on board. If he thinks you need an attorney, he'll be straight with you. And here's the bottom line. He will not charge you unless he collects from you, for you. And that's the good part, a small percentage of what he collects. So call for free legal advice with any injury, 303-597-4500, 597-4500. The website, personalinjuryco.com.
Do you want to learn how to get Tom, 1 minute? Fix it 24/7 short. Amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small.
I'm sorry.
Motivated individuals to join.
What did you say? Another spot coming, right? Yeah, I see it.
That just made my day. That was so cute.
She's a troubleshooter.
She's the troubleshooter of Rwanda.
I can't believe it.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can't believe that.
So cool. She was helping people with dirty restaurants and trying to get visas and trying to help children and give them a voice. And I love that. I thought that's just the secret.
Isn't that great? She would call
24/7 short.
She would take callers, you mean?
Yeah, and then she would call to help people.
Yeah. Hello. Maybe she's got some advice.
Seating is extremely limited. So text your
Did you say
code to 82,000.
fix it, right?
In the
Yeah.
next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a
So people do that cell phone.
Okay, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it 24/7. Right now, I'm going to extend that offer for $49 to have your furnace system or AC system cleaned and checked. Don't think this is just coming in with a vacuum and looking around. They take out the blower motor. They take out the burners. They take apart what they can to the extent they can and readjust and fix everything and give you a no breakdown guarantee. Both systems are just $49. I'm limiting it now to the next 10 callers at 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939.
Nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform.
You changed it.
Back
We
here.
thought it was wonderful. We only made minor changes.
See, we're on Facebook and YouTube and things, so people like to hear us
What?
talking.
Oh.
And then I haven't
Comments that say
I haven't
it's too
even
loud.
seen what they think, but it's
It's about
to pay because I don't have my computer and my phone is
What kind of computer do you use? What was the one you had? I mean, what exactly was it? Was it a PC or was it a Mac?
No, it wasn't a Mac.
It was a PC. And what generation was it? What processor? Do you remember? What the hard drive? Do you remember anything about it?
No. Actually,
How old was it?
I got it 3 years ago. The lady who bought it for me was here in America on Amazon. She sent it around.
You can send stuff straight from Amazon?
I don't know. No, she sent it.
I mean, can I go
She
on?
put it in a mailer and mailed it to her.
But I'm asking, does Amazon deliver to you in Rwanda?
I'm not sure. It's Susan who bought it, but she bought it from Amazon.
Susan bought it to her.
No, Tisha, the lady who paid for my master. Okay. Yeah, she bought it for me when I was like.
But Tom wants to know, does Amazon deliver to
I
home
think it
payment?
does.
Find out.
Like, do you have an address where you get packages?
Yes, but what they
Priscilla, what I would...
Okay, so somebody can ship things to home payment?
Yeah.
That's the way to
But
do
here's the
it.
thing,
That's the way to do it.
Okay, but I want to say something.
Customer service is a big
You do whatever you say, whatever you think. You have,
There are thousands of Google reviews.
do you want me to print out what I wrote? Do you want me to print that for you?
There's no obligation. Just
The one that I changed, you know, do you want me to print that today so you have it in front of you? And you can.
Now, she needs to
I already have
incorporate,
it on paper.
Okay.
she needs to incorporate the other changes.
Yeah, there
But
is
if she gives us that one, we can look at it for her.
Send me again.
The latest one.
Yeah, send us the latest one.
Jason has it.
Okay. We'll send it to you.
Yes. Tell her you have to rehearse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told them I really need some.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
You barely have a business. And if you have a
So
website,
just tell them, say, send it to Stephanie, and then I can look at it again for you, and then we'll print it out, and you just say, enough, I gotta get this in my
I
head.
had started even already, now I have to go.
No, just do whatever you want.
can tell you why
Everyone's just trying to help. You just do whatever you feel comfortable.
And win. Learn more at GetFoundFast.com.
Yeah, but we were,
That's
when we
GetFoundFast.com.
edited that for her, we were not changing her
No,
thoughts.
it's
We were
her-
just
it's
giving
her
you
heart.
different words. No one should change your thoughts.
No. It's too much.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's get to the phones here. And Rob, thanks for being here from Helldigger Septic and Excavating. If people ever need any septic work done, he's on the referral list. It's called Helldigger with one L. So, what do you think of the show so far, sir?
Oh, it's a great time. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to
What
be
about
here.
this troubleshooter from Africa?
That's amazing.
I can't believe it. I didn't know that's what she did on the radio. She actually was on the radio helping people. Let's talk. Okay, the lease is up, Sherry. Here's what I want to tell you. When they figure out a lease, you are financing in that lease the amount of depreciation that car will have over 3 years. Here, in an ideal situation, let's just say the car's worth $100, and they figure you're going to use $50 worth of that car at the end of the lease. It's worth $50, so you turn it in, and then they can sell it for $60 or $70 because the wholesale's $50. Now, in an ideal situation, but if you use the car too much, more than the lease says, and then when you turn it in, instead of using $50 worth, you use $75 worth. When you turn that car in, they can't pay you that $50 because they can't sell it. They have to make up for that loss, so they make you pay it so they can sell it and make the profit they thought they could. See, they are predicting what the car will be worth in the future. If it's worth less in the future than you promised it would be, they want you to pay for it because they're going to sell it. However, if you're the one buying it, and you say, no, you don't have to penalize me, I'm going to buy it anyway, then you don't have to worry about that. You just buy it. So, but in order to buy it, you have to make sure the dealer knows that you know that, so they don't just start heaping on a bunch of penalties. Here's what's going to happen. You will end up buying that car for fair market value for more than fair market value because you put more miles on it, but it's your car and you know how you put the miles on it. So it's better than buying a used car of the same vintage. I'm hoping this makes sense. Bottom line is this. If you go over mileage on a lease, it's best to buy that car from yourself and keep it and absorb the penalties. At least you have the car. Because otherwise you're going to pay damn near the same amount and give the car up. So now you take a 3-year deal and try to get a loan. You should shop a loan right now. And you can say this: I am buying a used car from myself after lease. You're actually buying it from, you know, Nissan or whatever. And you tell your bank you need to know the most you can borrow on this, because you're going to keep it. And if you have good credit, they're going to overlook the high mileage and give you a loan. And they're going to say, well, how much? And you have to say, I need to know what I qualify for. You don't have a specific amount right now, but you have to get the most you qualify for just to find out. Then you go back to Nissan and go to a dealer. They're going to assign you to a dealer, or maybe one of the reps at Nissan will take it. And then you say, I'm ready to buy it. I'm approved for a certain amount of money, and then negotiate your best deal and buy it. That would be the best scenario for you.
I'm running up against one problem. I dealt with Capital One on another car, excuse me, and they tell me they can't help me because they can only give me a loan for a car off the lot.
What do you mean off what lot?
What I get from that is if I'm buying a car first time around off the lot, then they can help me.
Well, I've never heard of such a thing. What do they care? What if you were buying from a private owner?
Seriously, yeah, and this is Capital One, which I've dealt with.
Well, I just never heard of such a thing. What I would do is I would go to Blinker.com and try to get a loan for it. It's going to be a little weird because the person you deal with at Nissan's going to have to let you go through them, and Blinker finances cars. Now, they may not finance over the amount. You're going to have to get a little more than the normal loan because you have higher mileage. Again, this is not something you would do if you bought something from someone else, but because you are absorbing your penalties, you have to pay a little more. Here's another alternative. See if they'll finance it for you at Nissan again for another 3 years, but not as a lease, but as a purchase. First things first. You must get it inspected and make sure there are no defects that you can't correct. Because one of the big tricks they do, too, is if you turn it in, well, you better know what you're doing, and I'll cover that coming up. Plus, Alex wants to talk about a condo, and we have a Howard Johnson's follow-up and a lot more coming up.
And now, there's so much to cover. Hey, can I turn off this light since you aren't using it?
Oh, every time you mention her, I do. Now, do you need to use the restroom? Okay, that's right.
I'm going to use one, too. And then I'll plug this in again. And you set that up really nice.
Hello?
To make an appointment.
And so you turn on that wireless light just when you need it?
There's no contest. Put your best voice forward.
It does go. Well, look at Rwanda. So I was thinking desert. Look at it. It's pretty.
Well, that's what I was going to ask her, yeah, what the climate's like.
So it's, I don't know if those are banana trees or...
Where is it on the map?
Let's see. I looked at... There it is. So they must have, so they came from Uganda, so it's a new country, yeah, so it's right by Congo. So it's landlocked.
You know, Brent, what I love is that Ideal Home Loans is a mortgage company
I don't know any history. Yeah, neither do I. So I do remember the Tutsi, the massacres from the Tutsis
and I'm telling you,
where they say
amazing this home scouting report, and you even have something to help.
But the way they said it is, I don't know why Belgium, I got to redo some history on that, why they would have wanted them to fight.
Right? You know, yeah, just based off of what they look like.
Yeah, something doesn't seem right to me. Why Belgium, even though they colonized them, and I thought colonization. That's one thing we're kind of ignorant here in the U.S. about a lot of stuff that happens around the world.
Issuing the subpoena, the House's Intelligence and Financial Services Committees have demanded documents from Deutsche Bank related to possible
like I say, but it's not real mountains.
Russia and Eastern Europe. Subpoenas by congressional Democrats to collect information about the finances of President Trump and the Trump Organization were immediately condemned by the
Well, they do
president.
got, like I say, they do got mountains and stuff there. So.
The subpoena is an unprecedented abuse of power. Meanwhile, the Trump Organization's lawyer said the company was weighing its options for potentially blocking Deutsche Bank from complying with the subpoena.
Fox's John Decker at the White House. The fire is out at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris as investigators begin the long process of investigating the cause.
I'll say this is probably
the Four Seasons.
Taking in the destruction, this iconic church losing its
yeah, this part here, I mean, you're right.
But firefighters worked through the night to save the church's primary stone structure. The fire declared fully extinguished after around 15 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure there's the out in rural part where it's, yeah, look at the cows. Holy cow. There's you got apes there, so we got jungles.
According to National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow.
Stephen Moore is in the process. We support Herman Cain. We'll just let things play out in a second.
Stephen Moore faces scrutiny for past comments about calling for a
Oh, so this is how I kind of picture, but that's probably just that. I mean, where it does look very dry.
Yep.
How did we beat Tom back? Oh, we didn't. See, look at me. Look at me. Get it all set up. Wait, you're not on?
No.
You turned it off?
No, that's why I asked. I said, do you
Patrol,
turn it
your
on?
cows there have real long horns.
Yeah.
You see these things?
I mean,
this is what you guys got? Holy cow.
I grew up grazing cattle.
Okay. So you okay. Just by walking around, you would ride a horse on each other.
We were grazing them.
Oh, see?
And all those
Okay, so that's the one glitch, is I let the
And
battery
when you
go.
see the rundown down,
Yeah, it'll pick
the
up
dogs
some
with
sound.
their hands like
Now,
this
if
and
we were going to depend on
That's the horns.
shotgun
Yeah.
rifle sound, I would use the other
you can
shotgun.
come and see our
That
kids are
internal
going to
one
the
was so
home
damn good. This camera is
on 24th.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, boy, you won't want these cows to charge you and get you. Do they fight with their horns?
No.
Other animals?
They don't fight.
Oh, they don't protect themselves like other animals, or?
They do, but the horns are very safe.
It's kind of weirdo. You ever heard of a cow fight?
Oh, yeah.
You should see these cows.
I brought Rwandan coffee for
Yep.
Tom, and he said it was the best he's ever had.
Yep. One of my customers was from Kenya, and he was a coffee farmer. Yeah.
So you got desert, you got jungles, you got.
It's on the equator,
It's beautiful.
so it feels like Hawaii. It's tropical.
Wait, Hawaii's not on the equator, is it?
Well, but that's what it feels like. But they say that it's the land of 1,000 hills, so it's very hilly. It's gorgeous.
You got giraffes, you got.
Dan, it's gorgeous.
It's not something we want to talk about.
We have lions.
You got lions too?
Well, and the gorillas, that's why a lot of people go there.
That's why the Raleigh House has established an information.
These cows are these old farms.
No, they're just in that one national park, and it's about 2.5 hours from Kigali.
The Raleigh House offers compared to
Does it
other
still pretty corrupt
This line
there?
is about
No.
information.
Not at all.
Safest country in Africa.
Oh.
Never change without some kind of help or
Because remember that Tutsi came back and he shut it all down, and faith is a very big component of this reconciliation. They're Christian there, so
The president himself. Above all, the president himself. Yes, no, we don't just do what we want.
730.
You can be in jail for
This is sponsored by the
anything
Raleigh
like you
House.
try to
Premier
do around.
Edition covering
Yesterday I saw
at 720
some guys on the street and they were acting like they had drugs, and someone told me they did drugs. You can't do that in
RaleighHouse.com.
You act like you have a problem.
What about poaching? Is there poaching? There's some poaching?
You just go to jail until you get your...
Did she hear you? He said, is there poaching?
Yeah.
They're the hunting. You know what that means? Illegal hunting, where they go and grab the gorillas or stuff like that. What, lions and all that?
Illegal?
In Rwanda.
Illegal? No, not allowed.
No hunting?
No hunting, no. The animals are there, you can rescue them, but you cannot do anything to them. Larson Tax.
I don't think the concept of poaching, you don't even know what it is because people don't do it. I mean, not the Rwandans,
right?
But you know damn well it's done, right? Like the rhinos are poached all the time.
And they prevent property seizures.
Are there hippos?
Yes, a lot.
A lot of hippos?
Yes.
They're mean though, aren't they?
If you go to Kagera Park, there's so many hippos.
Hippos are mean, nasty, awful,
There's so many there.
dangerous. They will chop you right in half. People don't know about that.
And they're fast, right?
We have elephants, big ones, really big elephants.
That's what I'm reading. It's like the crocodiles don't even mess with hippos. They'll just step right on them, and the hippos just, they don't care about crocodiles.
They got a bad attitude too, right?
I hear that. I know. And hippos seem friendly because they look big and friendly, but they're not.
If you call your insurance,
They're tough.
you're going to get a claim.
They're thick hide.
Even if they don't pay you any money. If a door knocker tells you to call your insurance,
I see you got crocodiles. You got everything there.
Yeah, we have a beach, it's called Hippo's Beach, and in that Hippo's Beach, there are also crocodiles. So you kindly cross the river there, and then the hippos are there. There are so many.
So what animals do you raise? You raise cows? You raise goats? I'm sure.
Yeah, we raise cows, goats,
Chickens.
chickens,
for the last 26 years. Same number,
turkeys,
same
there are
number.
Turkeys, really?
Yeah, a few of them.
761
And
6400.
I don't think there is more than that. There is in the park.
Who's Morgan?
Morgan, the one, I know so many.
That's the legs of the place
But
next to BK House.
Here? Oh, Valor.
You can hear Ross Kaminsky tackle the liberal left. Weekday mornings, 5
She
to
does
10.
it.
Who's she?
Susan.
If Denver's talking about it, you'll hear it on 630 KHL. 630 KHL.
So what are you going to do now, mister?
$1,000
Your
got an
callers?
hour to go.
Your
Text
callers?
the nationwide keyword blue to 200.
You ready to run a troubleshooter? Ready to tackle some calls? Some
No,
problems?
that's right. You should give a
Complaints?
call to Priscilla there.
Hello, I've
Morgan has
already,
the
We have this
I've
goat.
already suggested it, Dan.
Okay. We have this goat that's bad.
The Troubleshooter.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Thank you for being here where we can help you. You know, it's all about help. That's what it's about. That's why the song Help's playing. What you do is call if you need help. Problems, questions, complaints. Millions of dollars over the years recovered in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And one of the things I love doing is I love talking about people like Priscilla from Africa, from Rwanda, because she is helping people. She teaches little children, and the school Hope Haven, Rwanda, was established by an American woman right here in Colorado. And what I love about this story is that it's changing a part of the world. Not just educating the kids, but the parents are working there, and the parents are making a difference, and they're learning skills they otherwise would not learn, like masonry and other things. And some of the parents have even gone out and used those skills in the community. So the entire area is changing. In fact, the school, the kids, they outscore all the other children in Rwanda when it comes to testing. What a great thing she's doing. They're having a fundraiser next week. You can find out more. It's on Wednesday evening. HopeHavenRwanda.org. It's called Fabric of Hope. Priscilla's here. Did you know Priscilla was actually on the radio? And she actually did a show being a troubleshooter. She didn't call herself Troubleshooter. She called herself Rwandan Oprah because she loved Oprah. You're a bit smaller than Oprah. In fact, Oprah could fit you in her pocket, and you wouldn't notice it. Anyway, so thank you for being here, Priscilla. And we're going to talk to Sherry about this auto lease. Not many automobiles in Rwanda? Not many?
You mean?
Cars.
Cars? No, we have cars, but they are few. It's totally different from what I saw here.
People walk all over, don't they?
We walk, we run out to work, we take...
How far do you walk?
1 hour.
Wait. You walk 1 hour to work?
Yes, in 1 hour going back to my house.
Every day?
Yes.
You walk 1 hour?
Yes, and the kids I teach, some of them come to school and they use 2 hours coming and 2 hours going back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk. So, Sherry, let's talk about this lease. And for everyone listening, there are two ways to end a lease. One is purchasing it from the leaseor or yourself, basically. And what you do is build in the penalties and stuff, and at least you get a car at the end. It's the best way to get out of a situation when you have a lot of penalties. However, it's not necessarily wise to do. If you have a normal lease, you should always get a lease where you can live by the terms, never early terminate, ever, and never trade in a car. Also, with a lease, because people are only looking at a monthly payment, they sometimes neglect to see the acquisition cost, which is what the leaseor is paying to get that car for you. And if the leaseor pays too much, the whole deal is going to be a bad deal. Other than that, if you do the lease right, it's the best way to own a car because you're only using a certain amount of the car, and that's the only part you're paying for. It's as if you said to a grocer, I want an apple, and the apple costs $5, and you say, but I'm only going to eat half of it. He says, okay, I'm only going to charge you $2.50. Bring back the other half. That's really what you're doing with a car. Now, here's what's important, Sherry. If you don't buy it from yourself, you said, I have no idea what to do. Here's what they're going to do. The good leasing companies, they inspect the car first, but that's not what most of them do. Here's what they do. They have you drop it off somewhere, like at Denver auction or somewhere, and when you drop it off, you think everything's fine. They look around, you sign something, and you leave. 6 months later, 2 months later, 3 months later, it's random. You get a notice that you owe $2,000, and you say, what? That's because they went through that thing, and you signed something saying, I'm going to let these guys inspect it and bill me. So they go through that car, and they start writing down damage. Now, I'm not talking specifically about the Denver auction. I'm talking about in general. They may write down stuff that's not there, like, oh, you have a fender that needs replacing or is bent. You have a bad tie rod. You have all bad tires, you have a cracked windshield, and all of a sudden you get a bill because you are agreeing to pay any damages to that car, and it can get ridiculous. That is why people should never drop off a car and sign for it unless they are present for the inspection, or the better part is you have your own inspection done and you present it to them, have them sign it at the time you drop it off. Then when they do an inspection, if they find further damage, they're going to have to explain why there's more damage than when you had it inspected. And that's how you protect yourself. So feel free to call us as you get closer to your end date.
I will. Thank you so much, Tom.
Sure, no problem. Sherry, I really appreciate you asking the question before you had a problem. Alex bought a condo, 2017. What's going on, Alex?
Oh, Mr. Martino,
yes,
first of all, I want to appreciate everything you're doing for
Thank
the
you.
community. You're a very nice man, and you're doing a good job.
Thanks. What's happening?
Okay, so I bought a condo in 2017.
Okay.
Okay, the real estate found it. It was a divorce deal, so we came up with the cash. I didn't have, all the money, so the realtor that found it, there were two realtors involved. She's a 30% partner. I'm a 70% partner.
Oh, so wait a minute. So you actually went in partnership on this condo?
Yeah, with the realtor that found it, yeah.
Oh, that's odd. That's odd that the real estate agent actually is in it with you. So let me get this straight. You own 70% of it?
Yes, sir.
And do you live there?
No, it's a rental right now. But I'm over 70, so I plan to live there pretty soon.
Oh, so you guys rent it out?
Yes, sir, for now, yeah.
I got you. Go ahead. So what's going on? You have a 70-30 partnership. You have or 70-30 partnership, and you're renting it out. So what's the problem?
Yes, sir. Okay, the problem is that, Mr. Martino, the problem is the piping. I cannot, I'm an immigrant from Russia, but I'll tell you anyway. Polybutene.
Okay. Polybutylene piping is what you're saying. Alex?
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. There's a few things I want to ask. How old is the condo?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's probably about maybe 25 or 30 years old.
Okay. Here's what's important to know now. There was some piping done that was totally defective at one time, polybutylene. But there's also new piping that looks like polybutylene that is excellent piping to use. Because there are no joints, it's kind of freeze resistant as far as expansion and contraction, and it's it's a pretty good pipe. But it looks like the old one. Are you sure you have the old defective polybutylene?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir, because we had, since I bought it, we had like 4 breakdowns.
Okay.
And,
now, is the whole building plumbed with defective polybutylene pipe?
Yes, sir. The whole building got a problem.
Okay.
The whole condominium complex.
All right. And when you bought it in 2017, what was on the disclosure statement?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing about
nothing about nothing.
Okay.
When we signed the contract, there was nothing about nothing. The real estate pushed it because
I'm not sure. Hold on. I'm not sure they have to disclose the mere presence of polybutylene unless it's asked. They do have to disclose if they know about defects. Okay. I want to make that very clear. Don't think that they automatically have to put down polybutylene. They may not.
Okay, but in March of 2017, I bought it in August. In March of 2017, the board of directors levied a special assessment for $5,000 per unit to provide funds for the basically for the problem.
Hold on. $5,000 per unit. Is that before you bought it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This assessment for $5,000 was for what?
For a problem for the
pipe. Just say the pipe. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, Alex, hold on.
Yes, sir.
How many apartments, how many condos?
60.
So they collected a lot of money.
Yeah, they collected 60. They collected 5,000 times 60. They collected 300,000. But
okay, so what are you?
1.2 million.
Why are you calling me? What are you calling about?
I'm calling that the realtor was dishonest with me.
Well, hold on. How was the real estate person dishonest with you?
Because and the owners that sold it, they knew they had leaks and stuff and breakage in the piping.
Okay.
They never disclosed it.
Now, are you sure? Do you have your closing documents?
I should have at home, yes, sir.
Well, I need to see it because here's something that people don't realize, Alex. The real estate disclosures are not required.
Yes, sir.
So if they had them and they did not disclose it, then you got something. If they, I don't know, and on the old disclosures, they had something that says don't know, and they can claim they didn't know. The point is this, Alex. Did they lie and cover something up, or did they just fail to disclose? There is a really big difference.
I believe they lied.
Of course you do. Of course you do, because everyone wants somebody else to pay for the problem. Of course you do. You think they lied. What did they say that misled you about the plumbing?
They never. There was some leaks in there and stuff.
What did they say to you that lied? What was the lie they told you?
They never told me anything.
You told me they lied.
Okay, they lied.
How did they lie, Alex?
Okay, they did not disclose.
Alex, that's not lying. That's not disclosing. I need to know, did you say, are there any problems with the plumbing? And they said, no, not at all. And see, Alex, don't get discouraged, but people just automatically assume they have cases. And they call me and they think, oh, yeah, they didn't disclose. Did they lie? Did they mislead you? Did they defraud you? You said yes. I want to know how. What do you think? It's easy? You think you're just going to call them up and say, oh, Alex, how much can I write you a check for? Of course they're going to ask you these questions. You're not going to get money. It's not a candy store. That's why I'm doing this to help you, Alex. So hold on.
This report is sponsored by American Financing.
There's a couple of slow spots in the
Highway Drive downtown,
You're sounding scary. Priscilla's getting nervous. Look at her, she's laughing.
This is what you yelled at your callers?
No, that's how she talks to the kids. Hey, listen to me. Stop lying.
Did I do Frank Duran?
It's not lying, it's disclosure.
Did I do Frank Duran? You know, at the very beginning of this hour brought to you by Frank Duran.
Oh, you did at the, no, the very beginning of the show.
Man, I said the finest
Yeah,
man.
you did. You said I can't disclose anything, but I'm telling you, he's the love of my life, and we're going to run off into the sunset.
Long, got it.
With the traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30, K-How. Refinance and use your equity to consolidate your high-interest debt into one low payment. You could be saving $500 to $1,000. American Financing, 303-695-7000 or AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334.
So Priscilla's going to go back to
real estate.
You know, this guy comes to this country with $300 in his pocket. He starts working for a granite fabricator. He learns the business. He starts his own place in Golden. And he says, you know what I want to do? I want to concentrate on fabrication and installation. I want to do the best. So I'm going to sell the granite or any natural stone wholesale. I'm not going to upcharge. I'm going to put a small markup on the cabinets. But I want to concentrate on the art of granite. That's what Mitch Floria did, and now he has a thriving, wonderful business serving the entire Front Range and mountain communities, open 6 days a week, closed Sundays. That's artofgranite.net. He does complete stone fabrication for beautiful countertops, and when you do the kitchen, you get the bathroom free. He doesn't charge for tear out and haul away either. That's all free. artofgranite.net, and you know the best part? You get a price on the phone, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net.
I get started making money, flipping houses.
Sorry about jumping the gun on that.
I don't care. It's fun.
We got a Paradigm Group short coming up in 50 seconds.
Join our real estate investing team. You'll be entered.
I thought a lot of that polybutylene piping was settled in class action. Didn't they give everybody?
Yeah, but they still have to disclose it.
Right, but
I mean, if it's defective.
They plumbed the whole house with it? They used it inside the house too? I've dealt with a lot of that.
That's where they've redone it?
Well, no, but it's always been outside of the house, and then it's all copper inside the house.
Oh, no, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. In fact, I've only seen it used in the house.
That's where
You're talking about the old defective polybutylene. What did they use it for outside a house?
From the meter pit, out in the city. Well, I used to work for the city.
Okay.
And you'll also reserve
Got it. Remember this, my bank, my loan, myway.com. I'm going to tell you about a loan. It can be a first or a second, and it's a great loan. It's a loan that's liquid. It's a loan that you pay simple interest. It's like a line of credit. You can pay as much as you want. You can get the money back. You can pay as much as you want. You can get the money back. And every penny you have in the bank, whether it's in checking or saving, it counts against the balance of your loan like security. And you save tons of money. 720-931-6560. 720-931-6560. My bank, my loan, myway.com.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals. Through AP Wealth Management, LLC.
I like it. It's my loan, my bank, my bank,
No, it's fine. You get it.
my bank, my loan,
Yeah,
my way.
that's good.
Master 8550 belt drive opener with a battery backup and
first line.
MIT technology.
So is there much tourism there? Do people come there? There is? That's a big industry?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
People come to Memorial because they have one of the Morris and make sure to ask for the 8550 Master.
Perfect. That's what I wanted you to do.
Is it from all over the world, or
They want to know.
European countries, or?
I think people aren't visiting.
Yeah.
Like, people want to know for your next ideal.
To make sure. you in a...
I see you have volcanoes. Are they they're not active volcanoes anymore, right?
What do you do now?
Okay. But they're there. Man, that's beautiful.
I was going to, but I don't have time. They also have
You know, the rolling hills,
they will refinance you free of charge over the next 2 years. Give them a call, 303-867-7000.
So you walk an hour every each way there?
Yeah, because
maybe you should run. You get there faster.
sometimes I take a bicycle because the only transport in our community is bicycle.
Okay.
Someone is riding bicycle and you have to sit behind. And then you pay $200.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to get
Got hail damage? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-60.
Do you have a bicycle?
Ross Kaminsky, mornings 5 to 10. We're often told that
Do you go barefoot mostly, or do you wear shoes?
No,
and is it worth doing it for a major change in
When you do the
policy?
bicycle?
We'll talk
Someone
recycling
does the
Wednesday
bicycle
morning
and
at
they
7:05 right here on
Okay.
630.
You just sit on the back of it.
Yeah, take two.
Hi, Tom Martino here. OneClearChoiceGarageDoors.com. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. That is the place for the best garage door service. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. You can call and get immediate service for broken springs and things like that, or you can get a brand new opener starting at just $333. 303-565-6409. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Okay, so let's keep going here. We got a lot happening. And this is line, Frank Duran, I wanted to ask. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. We love you, Frank. I want to ask you this. As far as disclosure, we've gone over this a lot, but let's pretend people haven't heard this. Technically, disclosure statements, Frank, are not necessary. I mean, excuse me, are not required, I should say.
That is correct. That is correct, Tom.
So really, though, it's come to be commonplace and expected, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much expected. I mean, if the owner chooses not to fill one out, they still have to disclose any material facts they know about the property. But it is true, they do not have to fill out a seller's property disclosure.
Okay. Now, if they know of defects, do you know what is supposed to be told if they know about it?
Well, Tom, you know, there's a whole list of things. It's pretty. It's a pretty detailed list, but specifically, if they have any knowledge of something, even if it's not on the form, they would have a section where they could put some information that they do know something about.
Like, let's talk about polybutylene piping. Now, I know if you had a client that had this defective piping, you'd make them put it down there, but are they required to say, by the way, this condo is piped with polybutylene and they've been having a lot of trouble and class action lawsuits?
Yes, in fact, there's a section in there where they could type yes or no if it has polybutylene.
Oh, so polybutylene is specifically something.
That is correct.
Now, if they did not, let's say they did not have a disclosure statement, they would still have to tell them about it.
Yes, I would say they should tell them about polybutylene.
I'm not saying should, Frank. I'm saying if you were told nothing about it, I think I'd be upset.
Well, Tom, because it's a pretty big deal. I mean, you know, if I think it was from 1978 to 1994, that was a pretty big thing back then to save on money. But ultimately, yes, I think that's a big enough deal where they need to disclose that. Absolutely.
Now, let's talk to Alex. He bought this condo. The entire building did a special assessment the year he bought it, before he bought it, and they collected some $300,000. Now, Alex, did they use that money to make improvements?
Not yet. You know, the HO has been changing a lot.
Okay, now.
They've been dragging their feet.
Okay. Next question, Alex.
Yes,
what is the problem in your unit specifically?
Okay, since I bought it, I had 4 breaks, and it cost me about around $2,000 to fix. But in fact, I had Saturday. I had a problem.
Okay, so who do you feel cheated you? The seller. Who was the seller?
The seller was a private party, and I don't know. I mean, the name I don't know right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
you know
what about
seller,
you said you had a real estate broker?
Yes, sir.
And that broker is your partner in this income property?
Yes, sir. Well,
now,
for right
Frank,
now, it's income.
What's that?
I said for right now, it's income, but I'm over 70 and I'm planning to move in there.
No, I understand that. And are you going to buy her out when you move in?
No, sir. I don't have the money. I took most of my retirement out to put it in.
And she's going to be your partner and let you rent her part from you? From her, I mean?
I believe so. I didn't talk to her about it yet.
But you don't have a written agreement in this partnership?
No, we don't have, no.
That's weird. But okay. You should have everything down. Who's the title? In whose name?
The title was, I believe, Stuart title.
I'm saying, is it in your name or her name?
Oh, 70% in my name, 30% in your name.
Okay. Now, Frank Duran, does that real estate broker who took 30% ownership, does that broker have an obligation or liability, do you think?
Well, Tom, I think they do just because they have the experience and they should know about polybutylene.
But how would they find out if no one told them?
Well, and that's a good point. If nobody had told them, that's a different story. I'm just simply saying they should at least inquire, just knowing how important of an issue this is.
Alex, do you think that your real estate broker knew about this?
You know, Mr. Martino, I'll tell you one thing. When there was a HOA meeting, the real estate broker...
Alex, I'm just asking, do you think the real estate broker knew about it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then you can't hold her. You can't hold her responsible. I'll let you talk, but I want to say, if she didn't know about it, there's no way she could tell you about it. Okay, go ahead.
I really don't know. Okay, so the two real estate came to the HOA meeting about, I think it was last year sometime, and they offered us the seller real estate offered the seller is going to give us $5,000, but the job is about $25,000, so we declined.
Hold on, Alex. The one who sold it to you offered you $25,000?
No, $5,000.
Excuse me. That's what I meant. The one who sold it to you offered $5,000.
Right, and we declined.
Okay, I understand.
And now they say they don't want to give anything.
Right.
And the reason they offered us because the real estate seller and my partner, the real estate buyer, came to the HOA meeting and they heard everything that was going on, and he went to the seller and told him what happened at the HOA meeting, and they decide that they're going to give us $5,000 to settle the case.
I understand, and you did not want the $5,000 because it's going to cost $25,000.
About 20 to 25, yes.
I get it. It sounds like you're in a good standing to show that it was a non-disclosure, but that's going to be a big deal. Now, Frank Duran, have you ever seen non-disclosure, have you seen them, lawsuits?
Not personally, no. I've heard of them.
Are they messy, do you know? I mean, do you know if they usually prevail, buyers? I mean, just in your experience, what have you seen?
Most of the time, it's something where the person doesn't feel like pursuing it very far because it would cost more money to chase it than to just fix the problem. But it depends on how serious the problem is, too.
Exactly. Because Alex mentioned it might be $25,000 to fix it. Alex, that's about what it's going to cost for a lawsuit. And then here's the deal. If you are granted $25,000, you break even. That's the heartache of a lawsuit. Lawsuits don't always pay for themselves because you don't always get attorney's fees.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Russ Kaminsky Mornings, Sean Hannity and
KHOW Denver.
What do you guys do for fun in there?
Higher in afternoon trading, been impaired from higher gains.
You must have, you guys do, like, you guys have sports there? Or?
Yeah, we love sports. We love stuff. We have a very big team. And executive vice president Joseph Waltz and Bill Hugo.
I sit right there where Tom's sitting right
now.
You do what?
We go to safari.
Okay. Oh, do you? Okay. You like to so you hike around, you get to walk more?
just continues to perform very well in the
Not
beauty
so
space.
much to do.
Looks like we guessed it.
There's something more.
Okay.
Yeah, we have like, it's not like too much like here. It's not too much device.
And we'll go to more optimistic about their business as well.
So when you walk there, are you walking through neighborhoods, or are you, is it like, you're going from your house, there's just like, yeah, like just a road with not many people around, or?
The roads where I walk on the road where there are not many people.
Hey, my friend's retail store was open with passwords.
Oh, okay, so there's someone the whole way. Is it a city? Or is it a city, or just like?
We're secure. We're very firewalls for our sites, enhanced security for our fund, infrastructure, and total email.
I was going to ask you that, so there's no electricity.
Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey.
This recorded sponsored by the Denver Museum of Nature and Science.
No major stalls or accidents on the highway drive. Where the problems are. Let's head up into the high country. Got a roll over crash along.
You guys should go visit me.
Watch out for police activity along that stretch. Back to town off highway. Westbound Alameda.
So they got wells, or is it
We have a well where people
Crash
take
between
water.
stages near Island of Victoria. Look out for a wreck on the west
Is it really from the even from the well?
as well.
Yeah, because people step in the water. It's not like you're just there to come and you can
It's not a deep well.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but at Hope Haven we have a deep well.
K-House.
So our
The Denver
neighbors
Museum of Nature and Science presents its newest exhibition, Our Senses, Creating Your Reality. Enjoy some sensory overload, playing with
How deep
patterns,
is the well?
sounds, scents,
I mean,
and
how
touch to
deep?
discover
Because here
there's
up
so
in the
much more
mountains,
to
they
our
gotta go
senses
like
than
maybe.
just the usual five.
Your meter, your metric system.
You can try out
So here,
any hearing
600 feet,
device
what is that?
with no obligation.
200 meters
At Colorado
deep? Is your well deeper than that?
Whether suffering from hearing
Okay.
You guys, let me tell you something about Kigali, okay? It's a major city. They have a Marriott. Guys,
I thought you said Haven had a well.
No, they do.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the kids in there.
guys, so Kigali is a major city. They have Marriott. They have a beautiful airport.
We
It's
have
the
a
city I've ever been
convention
in.
center.
Good well.
A convention center.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's major. If you look up Kigali, and then about, I think, a couple miles away is this
so you control yours with
little haven of hope that she transformed in the bush. And you can go there for $50 a night, and you can stay there, and they make meals for you right out of the garden, and you can meet the children, and you can see the community. It's so safe. And really what it does is, if it's nothing else, it brings you closer to God and makes you realize how blessed you are.
Oh,
But then you get to
What do you
see
think about Trump's plan to release immigrants to sanctuary cities?
I think he was faking that.
No,
to try
he's
to-
serious. Look, he's continuing. What would be
That's
wrong
what
with
he
it?
always does, though.
But what would be wrong with it?
Well, I would say it's almost like you're trying to treat them good, because it'd be safer in a sanctuary city than they would.
Now, here's the other thing. What do you think about that woman that said, well, you know, this organization was formed because a few people did a few things on 9/11. Did you read about it? Did you hear the speech?
You know,
I heard the speech.
but I think there are some
I
comments.
think it's kind of taken a little out of context.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
no, but I think some comments, like the guy that says, you know, why would we help Africa when we, you know, you just have to let some stuff go. That's just the bait. You know what?
You're right.
Then
Because
go ahead and do
I
it.
think people are ignorant on that.
Okay. That's perfect.
I agree.
Okay.
People that get mad.
Don't throw your head out.
They just can't let it.
Don't throw your head out.
Can't let it go. You know, those comments, just like
Okay. Perfect. That's what I was thinking.
stuff go.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And they try to hold
Defend
that.
it.
Totally agree. Is Twitter big in Rwanda? Not kidding.
Yeah.
On Twitter?
Our president tweets.
Why do you think they're so grateful and happy?
I
There's a direct correlation.
I agree. Social media, I think, has made a lot of sense.
Oh,
I think
by the way, there are no
I'm
suicides.
surprised you said that that woman was taken out of context. You're quick to jump on the bandwagon.
Dan, don't take this.
No, I'm shocked that you said that, Dan, because did you think she was taken out of context?
Well, like I say, what she said was
She
probably-
wasn't minimizing it.
Well, you know the thing about it, she was talking to CARE, right? So,
Meaning what?
well, how good of an organization is that and stuff? I mean, it was formed after 9/11.
khwindows.com.
What do you mean?
My thinking is she should probably just not even.
There's nothing like Zoom to make that.
It was taken. I wouldn't have jumped on it.
You don't think she meant
Try to minimize it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think she was trying to say, hey, you know, we're better people. We're not the Islam people that.
Because a few people did that. That doesn't mean we're all like that. That's what she was saying.
Right. That's how I would have taken it.
But what do you think about him taking your words? And
What do you
putting
think
it
about
in
him
video?
taking things out of context and being
most of
upset
his-
and that's his MO, right?
And he put the words on there.
They can fix ACL tear, for example.
Like I said, he takes it just like the media takes his our content.
He's going to be the next president.
No, I don't know.
Oh, don't listen to Tom. He is ridiculous.
That's a Mark. Mark's not here.
USSA. That's right. The USSA, United States of Socialist America.
I saw this one of those Pinterest.
No, the United
and it was
Socialist
Trump, and he
States.
was standing there like this. He goes, "I am the only thing standing between you and socialism." And I was thinking.
And you know what? A lot of people think, wow, that could be true. We want socialism.
Oh, jeez.
I'll bet
you want
the
to
majority,
get outside of our borders.
the majority
and
of
see
the
how that works.
United States wants socialism.
Well, to be honest with you, Tom, it's happening already. I mean, the disparity between the haves and have-nots, I think the American dream is completely unattainable for so many people. As compared to our...
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show anywhere where we directly get involved in your life and help you to solve problems. So let's do that right now. Let's get into it and solve. And please visit hopehavenrwanda.org. You never hear me pushing stuff like this. Every once in a while, I love helping people like this, okay? A Fabric of Hope. That's the fundraiser next week. You don't have to go. Just consider doing something to help people across the globe, because it helps everyone. And of course, that's not to the exclusion of helping people at home either. We should all help everyone we can, to the best we can. Hey, by the way, there is a program at Hope Haven where you can invest in a child through their entire schooling for a small, really small fee every month. You get to know that child, and it's a real child. It's not like just a picture you put on a wall and then they're going out clubbing with the money. This is real deal. This money goes to the school, and then they help, and then you are committed to that child, and you write letters. You can go visit that child.
Tom, you
right?
know, I got
Priscilla?
to go and visit. I got to go and visit, and that's how I met Priscilla and Susan Holleran. I met her in my Bible study, and I went there, and it was $50 a day. I was stayed in the most beautiful accommodations. Believe
At
you
the
me.
school.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you, Kigali is this capital, and they have beautiful city. I mean, they have cars, they have hotels.
Sure,
they have
we were
convention
talking about the
centers.
kids in the countryside.
Yeah, that country has totally transformed.
Now, Priscilla, what about that program where people can visit the children and have a child? They kind of adopt in spirit. I mean, they adopt this child.
It's called Kugawa. Kugawa is a word in my language, in Kinyarwanda. It says giving. When you give a child, that child, you get committed to him or her. You can come to Kigali.
Or more than one.
Yes, you visit that child. You can go to their home. I'm in charge of families. I go to their homes and I sit and I share everything with them.
And what's the name of the term?
Kugawa.
Kugala?
Kugawa.
Kugawa.
Yeah, it's Kugawa Initiative. So
Kugawa.
this is when you commit to one child or more than one child. You share, she can write to you or he, and you can write back. You can share pictures. This child just needs someone, just one person, to love them or encourage them.
What a great thing to do with you and your children, to follow these kids through school. Wouldn't that be a great project for you and your kids?
I mean,
Kugawa.
it's good. It was me to be who I am today. It was one person who came out and loved me like that. I didn't know that person. I didn't have hope. But someone came out and was like, Priscilla, what do you want me to help you? I said education, because that's what I all lacked.
So someone helped you?
Yes.
And now you want to pass it on?
Yes. And I want to pass it to someone else to know it and to do it. And, I mean, we can celebrate this together.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Tom, I love going to places where you have your problems put in perspective. I never felt closer to God there. Honestly, I haven't.
That's a wonderful thing. Hope Haven Rwanda.org. Now let's get back to life here. And Priscilla, you were a troubleshooter, so you actually did this on the radio. I am so blown away by that. But Janet, her son has a car less than 2 years old. The block's cracked. Now, what a serious question here is, Janet, is it new or used when he got it? Was it new or used, Janet?
Brand new.
Are you kidding me? And he has a cracked block in 2 years? What kind of car is this?
It's a Subaru Impreza.
I almost wanted to say it, and let me guess, it's turbocharged.
I think so. I'm not positive on that. But,
because the Subarus have such a problem with the turbocharging. Hey, whether it's turbocharged or not, let's all agree you shouldn't have a cracked block in 2 years. But how many miles on it?
Between 23 and 24,000.
And another question, does he drive hard? Because everyone listening, almost everyone is thinking, you got a young guy in a car, and he is boosting the hell out of it. Is he like, first of all, that shouldn't crack a block. That sounds unheard of. What is the diagnosis? What went wrong? Are they saying it's abuse? Are they covering it under warranty? What's going on?
They're refusing the warranty.
Wait, why?
The official claim was that because he did his own oil changes, they're claiming he can't prove he did oil changes, yet when they tore the car down, there was a Fram oil filter on it, which obviously is not a dealership filter. So
and what difference does it make? You're not required to go somewhere. As long as you do the maintenance, that's what's required. So they're basically saying, due to a lack of maintenance, this happened.
They're saying because he can't prove he did oil changes, they're refusing to do the dealership, or they're saying it's from corporate, but they're saying they're refusing to fix the vehicle.
Is it otherwise under warranty?
Yes, it should be. It's.
I mean, by miles, it's under warranty.
Yes.
And by year, it's under warranty. It's only 2 years old.
Correct.
What is it, a 2017?
Yes.
I can't believe this. What dealership was he dealing with?
This was Huberger down in Colorado Springs.
Wouldn't surprise me. There's a slew of bad dealers down there.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, so did you talk to any district people with Subaru, you personally or your son?
He did talk to one district person that met him at the dealership.
Yes.
He kept saying, why are you refusing to fix my vehicle?
Right, and?
Oh, we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you. Well, after 3 weeks of back and forth, they got back to him, and the official response from corporate is, we're refusing because you can't prove you did oil changes.
I understand that, and that's an excuse, in my opinion. Well, let's put the burden on you. Where are the receipts? Does he have receipts for oil?
I had them, but I got rid of them.
Well, you can get them on your credit. Do you have them on a credit card?
Yeah, well, on my debit card, yeah.
Well, there's a record somewhere of those transactions. If you guys regularly bought oil, how often did he change oil?
Every 7,000 miles. They're recommended, I think he said in the book, was 10, but he was doing it like every 6 or so.
And he has a filter and oil that he bought at regular intervals. You should, and he bought it on your card, or you bought it?
I bought it for him, and he just paid me back because I was buying stuff for my vehicle.
I understand. So every once in a while he'd say, Mom, grab me some oil and a filter.
Correct.
And at the place you bought it, they would have a record. What place?
Well, it was at Walmart, so I don't know what kind of records they would
they have records. You have to have a burden. You understand they're not just going to take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, were they saying you can't prove it, like, in other words, because you didn't go to a dealer, or are they saying any kind of proof? Because I think they would accept your receipts for filters and oil. I think they would. But you have to give them something. Certainly, you can't give them nothing.
Right. I understand that. But again, with a Fram oil filter sitting in the motor instead of a dealership, it's obvious it's been changed.
Yeah, and it's obvious it's been changed once.
Yes.
Once.
Another question I have,
Janet, don't gloss over that. It's obvious it's been changed once. If you want to be technical about it, prove it's been changed every 10,000 or 7,000. That you show intervals of purchase of oil and the filters. I think you can do it, though. And I think this is ridiculous that they're refusing it. Also, they could tell from the inside of that engine if it's been abused or not.
Right.
You can have that analyzed.
Well, I have a question because they're refusing to give us they had a mechanic tear it down to officially find out why it cracked, and now they're refusing to give us that information.
Well, that's odd that you would have to subpoena that if you're going to sue them, and I would sue them. How much is it going to cost to fix?
We don't know yet.
Hold on a second. I have to take a break.
This report is sponsored by Colorado Department of Transportation.
There's going to be a direct flight pretty soon from JFK.
This light just
Oh, yeah. So from JFK to Kigali, I think it's going to be 12 hours. And that's totally manageable. And then you land there, and they will pick you up, and it's gated. You go inside, they'll put you in a room. They have big, Culligan water, so you don't have to worry about getting sick. They cook all of their food with Culligan water. Everything, like, you're never going to get sick there.
20 seconds.
It's not the same Culligan water. It's water treatment.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it looks like, though, those big jugs. So, it's so beautiful there. It's so beautiful. And then you guys...
I wonder if that guy is using synthetic oil, though, or not.
You do all day.
It probably calls for synthetic oil.
Driving mode to prevent incoming messages and alerts while you drive, so you can keep your focus on the road. Learn more at distraction.codot.gov. Message brought to you by CDOT.
Century RV has used RVs and new RVs of all kinds. They have great deals on Cougars. They have new units for under $24,000. Century RV, 2 locations. You have one up north on the 119 turnoff to Longmont and I-25 right there on the frontage road. Then they have one out west of the city just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's. You can reach them at one number, 303-453-1111. Local and live, and you know what? People come from all over to shop there. CentryRV.com.
Good afternoon, Amy Transient Customer Service. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling about my medicine costs.
That'd be a good place to take.
How can I help?
Spoiled, rotten children?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Not that, but I was going to say like that.
Well, and also spoiled, rotten adults.
Yeah.
What if I'm paying full price?
Oh, we're in a commercial, so they can't hear us. Yeah, spoiled, rotten
Well, no,
adults.
they
Oh, no, they can hear us. And
Oh, hello.
We're always here.
So spoiled, rotten adults and spoiled, rotten children. Which, if you are an American, I don't care. You have. Yeah. She said. Well, she said, I can't believe that I see everyone has a car. Several cars. They have rooms in their house no one sleeps in. She was like, this is just unheard of, Such a colossal indulgence that we have in this country. And then we...
3 bicycles with
you think we're
spiders
spoiled?
crawling on them right now.
I think God is unfair.
What's that?
I think God is unfair.
Before you have your
It seems unfair, she thinks.
Oh, I agree. I totally, like I said, it's, I'm
they will beat any transmission.
just homeless. I'm not happy with homeless. I think Ben Franklin said it best. The best way you can help poverty is by making it uncomfortable to be poor.
781-9858. I know you can't beat this deal. Budgeting with transmission and auto repair.
It is unfair. I agree with you. Especially when you go to Costco. First time I went to Costco, isn't that an amazing store? Everything there.
Can we frame it? So, yeah, and so she was saying, they don't have suicides in Rwanda. And she said, I don't understand why anyone in this country wouldn't want to live. But then yesterday when we were talking to the children, she was saying, the children were saying, why are we so miserable? And we have everything, and they have nothing, and they're so happy. I think there's a correlation there.
I agree.
And also, like this story that I'm doing is going to be on CBS Sunday morning with Jane Polly, and then I'm putting together a longer form and hoping that it could be on PBS, and people could watch it with their children and really have some discussions, and also different countries about, look at what these people did. They came out of really the darkest hole, and this country has this economy that is booming. I mean, it is impressive what they've done after, millions of bodies just piled on top of each other. How do you overcome that? They did.
The weather is changing.
So I just think there's a whole lot of lessons in what's going on in Rwanda. And people would say, oh, you shouldn't go there, Stephanie. It's way too dangerous. I never felt safer in my life. I never felt so much love.
No, I think social media makes people jealous, makes them sad that they don't have stuff, and people, because they don't have to survive. You don't have to do much to survive.
No one cares truly about how many Facebook followers or Instagrams or Snapchat, but, you know, they have one little uniform. You should see how they take care of it.
Oh, I bet.
Dan, they are so impeccably dressed, and I'm thinking about where they live. And one sip of the water that they go to, Tom said it was some sort of lake. It was a swamp. I'm telling you, you would die. Any of us in this room would be done. Sip of that water.
Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK. Let's go to the phones. Okay, so, Janet.
Yes.
We need to work on getting proof, okay? And then you need to, as far as the information, they won't give it to you because they know you're going to use it against them. But the car is yours. You can get that car, and I suggest you do. And then you have an expert like Norris, SOS Inspections. He can be so much as a professional witness. This guy is good. He can analyze it, and he'll tell you if this was due to owner abuse. I mean, he'll say it's impossible that this is an original oil. This is wonderful. This is good. I mean, if it's true. That's what you need to do. This is expensive. You need to protect yourself because we're talking about $6,500 probably.
Yeah, that was one of the estimates my son was given. Just,
now,
you know,
so what? Because they're going to basically do the whole engine. Janet, that you can get possession of this car, right?
Yes.
Get it. And then take it somewhere that you can store it. You've got to get Norris at SOS Inspections to look at it. That's your next step, and he needs to do a full written report. He does very comprehensive reports, and he'll charge you for it, but you need it. You need it, and he'll probably give you a deal if you come from our show. We will walk you step by step through this. I think you're going to be under small claims court, Janet. That's the good news. You might be able to take them to small claims court and get everything paid. They're going to go to the warranty once you sue them. You're going to sue the dealer for breach of contract or whoever issued that, whoever sold it to you. All right, let's talk. Brittany, what's going on with you, Brittany?
Yes.
What's happening?
So I got in an accident 2 months ago.
Yes.
And so I'm going through a divorce as well. So he was supposed to be paying the insurance until
Was it lapsed?
Yes, and I had no idea. We live in completely different states. And so when I was going to my status conference for my divorce that same day of the accident. So when I went to the courthouse to meet up with him for that, he had told me that I didn't have insurance. He doesn't know what happened.
But how is that hurting you? I mean, obviously he's supposed to pay for it, but I hope you didn't have an accident, right?
No, I did. I rear-ended someone.
When? After that status conference?
No, on my way to it.
Wait a minute. So you were on your way to the status conference, you rear-ended somebody, you got to the conference, and he said, oh, by the way, you don't have insurance.
Correct.
Oh, no. Had he been notified it was lapsed? Did he know? He knew it, but you didn't know it.
Right. I had no idea, and he said he didn't know.
Unfortunately, Brittany, here's let me tell you the straight and narrow, then I'll tell you, you know, I mean, they don't care that you knew or not. You're supposed to know.
Right.
So I mean, from the other side doesn't care. They say, well, who cares if you thought you had insurance? You didn't.
Right.
So, but on the other hand, you have an action against your husband or against the divorce to get more of the assets. Do you have any assets, you guys?
No, we were only married a year, so we had.
Oh no! So you weren't dividing anything up.
No.
Because I was going to say if you were dividing anything up, you were supposed. But this is even more complicated. What's to prevent him from saying, "Who said I had to pay your insurance?"
Well, we did have it in writing because we went to mediation.
Oh, so wait a minute. So you had been separated for a while.
Yes. Yes.
How long?
It's going to be a year.
Okay, good. Now, Brittany, this is important. You had in writing some kind of a separation agreement saying he would pay. It was like temporary orders?
Yes.
And it said he would pay insurance?
Correct, until March 15th. And the accident happened on February 28th.
All right, you can probably get a motion, and then if he doesn't pay it, he'll be in contempt. You can get a motion for him to pay damages because he did not follow the court order. Now, do you have an attorney representing you?
No. Since we did mediation, we agreed on everything.
All right, hold on. You got it, Daphne. We need to get her on with Bonnie Shields. Also, you need to get us a copy of your agreement. Of that court order, that mediated settlement. Hold on. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget, Fabric of Hope. Look for it at savehavenrwanda.org.
The great thing about facts, they're proven.
Yes,
Like the
very good.
Good job, Tom.
Honey.
See if we can get Dawn on tomorrow.
Tom, she said good job.
Dawn, if you can hold on, we're going to try to get you some help here anyway.
You did good? You did okay?
She said good job.
So Dawn's waiting too.
Good job, Tom.
Oh, thank you, Priscilla. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to you more. I'm a big mouth.
Does Peace Corps go to Rwanda?
Of course, everywhere. In fact, that's what really should happen. This is my new motto. Anyone who wants to run for president
you don't want to spend 60 grand
must
on
have
cosmetic
served in the
dentistry.
military
Listen, one veneer can
or
be $2,200.
some capacity
I know,
of
I just had something
the
great.
Peace Corps.
Just say that
And every student who graduates from high school in America should serve 1 year in the Peace Corps before coming back, going to college, or
If
elected. If elected, yes, if elected. Yes.
I don't disagree.
I'll tell you what, you send
Rob,
some
nice
kids
meeting you,
to
brother.
other parts
Thank you.
of the world, it'd be a different
Really
thing.
using Invisalign for the whole thing, 3 years. This is the best part. Pennies on the
Oh,
dollar.
he's going to print your script out.
We'll have you on as an expert whenever we have septic questions. And we do have that. You're one of the few that does it on our list, so that'll be good. Yeah.